found the exact point at which teams just say, F it, let's throw the catcher in the late innings of the game. The Atlanta Braves absolutely beat down the Arizona Diamondbacks 17-2 last night. A 16-hit effort for the Braves. Now, it's a little lopsided because later in the game, the Diamondbacks did choose to throw their catcher, James McCann, who was out there lobbing up like 45-mile-an-hour meatballs, and the Braves were just teeing off on it.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You gotta play the game. I don't care if it was the Bat Boy Diesel who was out there throwing pitches last.
Right.
Don't you rain on my parade.
You just don't want to eat up any arms at all. I think if a catcher throws at pitcher, he should be able to squat on the mound like a catcher, come up out of his stance, throw the mask off, and fire that thing in there with every single pitch. Because, obviously I know that James McCann can throw the ball harder than he was when he was lobbing up those submarines to the Braves, but he just blooping them out there.
But it was 12-2 before that happened. The Braves put an 8 spot in the 5th inning last night. Are you kidding me?
It was a 2-1 ball game before the Braves batted around the lineup, batted around the order in the 8th. And that's twice this year. That's twice so far in only 7 games that the Braves have batted around the entire lineup in 1 inning. And it was just because they were finding gaps.
Yeah.
They were finding gaps.
Hitting
They were dropping them down in holes. And this Atlanta Braves team, now, you know as well as I do, teams eventually cool off.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully they don't go ice cold. But it's fun while it lasts.
Well, it is, and they're going to lose a lot of games. That's baseball. You play so many games, Diesel. It's just the nature of the beast, right? But let me tell you this. 5-2 compared to last year, what happened a season ago, and then the season before that where the Braves were just up and down all season long. I'm telling you, I absolutely love it. And just like I put on Twitter last night, Diesel, I'm trying so hard not to get overexcited. I'm trying so hard not to get my hopes up because I know, like you said, it's baseball. All things that go up, what's the rest of the saying, Diesel? Must come down. And it happens. The Braves are going to lose 4, 5, 6 in a row. Hopefully not anytime soon. But a 5-2 start where all offseason, you and I talked about it. Everybody's injured. Everybody's hurt. But guess what? None of that matters right now because I said it last year and I said it going into the season just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, you know what, Diesel? There are a lot of guys that are injured, but guess what? The guys that are still playing on this roster are getting paid millions to do what? Step up, produce, hit the ball, throw the ball, and it's still their job to go out there and do that. And that's what they're doing. A 5-2 start, you couldn't have asked. You could have asked for 7-0, but my gosh, this feels so good. So good after what happened a season ago, Diesel.
Yeah, and everyone was getting involved. Even Ronnie, who didn't have the best day at the plate, 1 for 4. He still brings in an RBI. But Dubon is the star of this team right now. How about that? This guy comes out of nowhere, comes to the Braves, and is just tearing the cover off the ball.
Yeah, he is. And I'll tell you this.
Hitting 429 on the season already.
Dom Smith is another story that I think is fantastic. Dom Smith, he hit that grand slam, that walk-off a couple of weeks ago. And you go look at this guy's story, man. He grew up in California. He played first base, outfielder, pitcher. And, this was a really highly touted prospect, Diesel, coming out of, his high school career. He's 31 years old. He was born in 1995, and he made his MLB debut for the Yankees back in 2017. So he's been around the league for a little while, but you just love stories like this. And I mentioned this the other day. He lost his mom not long ago, right? And for him to come out and have the start that he's had, he started in the minor leagues, Diesel, for the New York Mets. The Mets selected Dom Smith in the first round. He went on in the 2017 season to get promoted to the big leagues, and I think he was in the big leagues for 2 years. 2020, he was spending some time down back in the minors. 2021, came back up to the Mets. 2022, the Mets signed a couple of other players in his position. You had the Pete Alonso deal. So he goes to the Nationals. Then he goes to the Rays in 2024. Then he goes to the Red Sox, Diesel. Then he goes to the Reds. Then he goes to the Yankees. Then he goes to the Giants. Think about that. In a span of 2 years, he goes from the Rays to the Red Sox to the Reds to the Yankees to the Giants. And 2 years later, he lands in Atlanta, signed a major league contract with the Braves because the Braves, everybody's hurt, right? They just need warm bodies at this point. He signs on February 17th. 2026, just a couple of months ago. And just look at what he's done. You mentioned a couple of other players, but Dom Smith and Dubon's been great. He was great. What do you have, like 3 or 4 hits last night? He was really good last night.
Last night, Mauricio Dubon went 2 for 4 with 3 hits and a home run and an RBI.
I love it. And look at Dom Smith last night, a solo shot. You had 4 home runs. Now, I don't want to be a team that only hits home runs, but that's not what this team is. This is fantastic, man. What a great start.
Yeah, I'm loving the fact, like I said, that they are finding gaps. They are hitting against the shift, and they're doing a great job at situational hitting. Now, I did love that Ozzie Albies, that inning, that 5th inning that went crazy for the Braves where they played at 8 runs, could have looked very, very different, Cole, if Ozzie Albies hadn't successfully challenged a strike 3 call that was outside the zone. They turned that thing around. He ends up walking. They ended up loading the bases after him. He later walked in to score the first run of that inning, and it just kind of opened up the floodgates for this Braves team. And like I said, the Arizona Diamondbacks basically rolled over, showed their bellies, and said, okay, enough. We're not even going to waste our arms against you. You've beaten us. It's done. Let's take some BP out here.
Give Walt Weiss some credit too. Diesel, after Brian Snitker, leaves the organization, but leaves the team as the manager from last season. Walt Weiss comes in, and I thought, man, Walt Weiss has a tough job with all these injuries. A team that I thought felt like was kind of exiting that playoff contention circle, Diesel. I thought Walt Weiss had a pretty tough job. And Walt Weiss, to start the 2026 season, you just named those guys that played really well last night. And how many hits total last night? Let me look. 16 hits last night. You got to give Walt Weiss a lot of credit. You mentioned the ABS challenge there. By the way, Drake Baldwin's one of the best players in baseball right now. He is number 1, 2, 3 in baseball, hitting just the cover off the ball. 286 right now. The Braves as a team, they are leading the National Leagues in a lot of categories. By the way, as a team, they're hitting 281, which is higher than the Dodgers as a team. So the Braves are hitting the ball. They've had some challenges. They've had some challenges in the preseason with some injuries. But all that matters is they're 5-2. And did you hear the first, this is not Braves related, but did you hear the first ever walk-off ABS last night?
No.
The first ever.
Heard this.
Very first ever walk-off via ABS.
Like that. Oh, Basayo's going to challenge. Yep. Well, why not? We have not seen a challenge in the game yet. ABS powered by T-Mobile. Basayo for the win. Yes!
It's like winning a race under caution.
Isn't it weird? To win the game. The Orioles won the game over the Rangers. I'm sorry, that was actually 2 days ago. But the Orioles won the game on a walk-off ABS. That is a new element of the game that we'll see with the Braves a lot this year, too, that now the fans are on the edge of their seat waiting to see if we can win a game because of a ABS Hawkeye technology system. I love it.
Yeah, these I know these umpires, they don't like being shown up, but getting it right is important. So screw you to all the fans who are like, I don't want ABS. I don't want this. I don't want this.
Yeah.
It's leading to some really exciting moments, adds another element. I mean, everybody loves to kind of stick it to the referee or stick it to the umpire. See, I know better than you because I've got a better view on my 4K TV. You're just there right in front of the play. What do you know? You can't see anything.
And you know what? We as a country are so divided on so many different things. You know what we're not divided on? Hating umpires, hating officials.
It's true.
I mean, we love to come together to hate, to stick it to an umpire, right? And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. It feels fun.
Somehow we're asking Roger Goodell to swallow his pride and bring the umpires and the referees back.
Yeah, that's
true. We hate the referees until we really need them. And they're like, hey, we realize that your replacements, your scabs are going to be worse than you are.
We need you guys, but we can't stand you. We can't stand you. JB on the YouTube stream says, just think, if you get off to a good start, say 14-6 in the first 20 games, and you go 500 the rest of the season, you'll finish around 85-77 to 87-75 and maybe a playoff spot. JB, there's no doubt that we've talked about it, Diesel and I have. These games aren't end-all be-all right now, but guess what they do allow you to do? They do allow you to have a bad spot later in the season. Diesel, it's only 5-2. It's a very small sample size.
Yeah.
But if you can get off to what JB said, 14-6,
you get room for error.
You do.
You know?
And that's big in baseball, man, because you're going to have error. You're going to.
And you need these kind of stretches to sustain you. Like, number one, you need them to insulate against possible, rough patches. But also, you need these to remind the players, what was it like? Where was your headspace at? What were you doing differently, routine-wise, when we were finding all the success that we were finding right out of the gate? That's how we need to get your headspace back to there. And if we can do that, we can get you out of the slump, get you hitting again. Good
to see JB, Dan B, and 16 others on the stream, watching on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Also on the Joy Law Firm text line, 844-326-3663. How about this? Corn Chip text in, Diesel. He says, tuning in to the show from Short Hills Mall up in New Jersey. Saw signs for enemy territory on the drive up. So that is a true loyal Tolo right there.
I love it. Inside the Jersey Mall.
Is that what that is, the Jersey Mall?
A Jersey Mall.
I've been to Jersey one time. It's been a long time ago. I was in high school, so it's been a while, and I don't remember anything about it. But how cool is that? Tolo Corn Chip. Toloing. There are a lot of options out there these days. A lot of options out there. Turning it on and leaving it on from Short Hills Mall up in New Jersey. You know what my favorite part about a mall is? The food court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The food court. You can't have any of those things anymore.
And, the let me tell you this. This is going down a rabbit trail, but one thing I don't like about life anymore is that malls are not becoming malls just aren't a thing anymore.
They're going away.
They're going away.
Yeah.
And growing up, man, the kids that are growing up now will never experience what you and I experienced and what a lot of Tolos experienced about, going to the mall at Christmas, going to the mall on a Saturday. It was packed.
We technically we have an outdoor mall right over here. Shops at Green Ridge is an outdoor mall. They do things a little differently over there. Like a mall, you park your car, you walk around this gigantic building, and you pop in and out of all the stores. Well, if you need to do multiple stores over there, you drive from store to store to store. I wish there was a big gathering space food court in the middle.
Yeah.
Like a little park in the middle of Shops at Green Ridge with grass and tables and trees to hang out at and great food trucks. That would be an awesome spot to go. I'm telling you, if we have anybody listening, because I know we have friends in high places, Cole. If we have anybody who is connected over here at Shops at Green Ridge, let's knock out the Starbucks and let's put in some grass.
Yeah, little outdoor area.
Yeah,
little outdoor. I do miss it. So Corn Chip up in the New Jersey Mall. Let us know, is the New Jersey Mall still thriving? Haywood Mall is still good. It's not great, but it's still good. I had to go to the Apple Store a couple days ago, Diesel, and Haywood Mall is still nice. It's not like Westgate Mall in Spartanburg, but I hate it for the kids that are growing up today that don't get to experience the mall.
It's true.
The nostalgia, man.
It was
the food court.
In a way, it was kind of a babysitter for all of us.
It was
right?
great.
If you had the opportunity to go, you go there after school and you just run amok for hours until your mom came to pick you up.
And now they're just going away. The movie theaters in the malls, like the one in Spartanburg, it's trash now. It's not even, people don't go there unless you just want to have trouble. The main thing is, though, Corn Chip, you're the man. Appreciate you listening. He says this mall does not have a traditional food court up in New Jersey, where he's listening from. I'm also staring at a Porsche Macan park in the middle of the walkway in this part that we're in.
Is it like one of those you've registered to win the car?
Or is like somebody's driving?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or just some jerk in a Macan just parked there.
What was your favorite food court restaurant?
Oh, God.
Japanese was always mine.
Japanese were great. I think I grew up loving Sbarro. I loved Sbarro.
I did too.
It was different.
I
right?
did too.
I mean,
No, I did too.
When I was
It's
a kid,
good.
there was only a handful of pizza restaurants near our house, and my parents are creatures of habit. They'd order from the same pizza restaurant every week, every time, the same spot. And it's like, Sbarro just, it's like, oh, wait a minute. What? I can go and get whatever I want.
It
on
was-
this thing?
it was
I
good.
can have it
You're
my
right.
way.
Yeah, that was good. I always thought the Japanese restaurants and the food courts just hit different. I don't know. Like you couldn't get, you have the nice sit down Japanese restaurants now, but I don't know. It was just something about those mall Japanese restaurants.
The line of the samples where you could just go one to the next,
Get
to the next, to
the,
the next,
Toothpick.
and tear your
The
stomach
bourbon
to
chicken,
shreds.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I miss malls on this Friday. On this Good Friday, I miss malls. Dan B says Sbarro's. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. JB said that place is good. And talking about the pizza, I guess. And then, Chick-fil-A started entering malls, right? I don't know what's in the Haywood Mall food court. I hadn't been in a long time to the
It's all
food
the
court.
it's all the standards. There's like 2 or 3. There's a Japanese restaurant,
Is there?
a Chinese.
What does the foot
restaurant.
traffic? The foot traffic look like in the mall these days? Is it pretty good?
I don't
Have you
know.
been?
I haven't been in a mall in probably 3 years, 4 years.
I know Haywood at Christmas time's hopping.
Bonkers.
Yeah. But like this time of year, I don't know what the foot traffic looks like. I had to go to the Apple store, but you can literally just go in. It's right there. You leave.
Keep on the right side of the right side. I miss not knowing where your store was. You had to wander the whole place looking for it.
No doubt. No doubt. That was a good part of it, man. So, Corn Chip, you got us on the tangent, but appreciate you listening from New Jersey on the free Odyssey app. Also on the iHeartRadio app as well. JB on the YouTube stream says the other place they used to have was Piccadilly Cafeteria. Well, of course. Of course. He says, I remember Westgate Mall used to have that Piccadilly in the corner. I used to go there growing up. No doubt, JB. That was a good one. That was a good staple. Now we're really throwing it back. That's a good segment we'll do in the summertime, Diesel. The best restaurants that are no longer here.
For the longest time, the mall in Hickory had the only Chick-fil-A in town.
Oh, wow.
And Hickory's a pretty big town. I mean, it's Spartanburg, maybe a little bit bigger than Spartanburg just by itself.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only Chick-fil-A in town. So if
you had to go to the
you had
mall.
to go there. And from our house, it was probably a solid 25, 30-minute drive, like because you had to take city streets to get there.
Yeah.
And then you had to go deal with the mess of all the traffic. But I mean, it's basically what if Haywood Mall was on Woodruff Road? That's what
That would be epic. Diesel, a big show for the Tolos today, but in the very next segment, this is fun. The Masters begins, a week from yesterday, officially, other than the par 3. I want to put you to the test in the very next segment. What are the things that the announcers, because we talked about the announcers yesterday at the Masters, right? Especially with like the par 3, Jason Kelsey. Mm-hmm. Do you know, and without cheating, I'm going to put you to the test in the next segment. Do you know every term that the announcers are not allowed to say on air at the Masters?
Oh.
I think you'll know a lot more than you realize.
Okay.
So I'm going to put you to the test, and I will give you lifelines of the Tolos. And now they can cheat. They can use their phones, and we won't know it. So Tolos, don't cheat at first. But
I'm scared.
let's see how good you are at
I don't know
this.
where this is going.
Jim Nantz and those guys can't say certain things. You have to use another word, a synonym, right, to replace that word. I'll give you an example. How good is your Masters lingo? We'll find out next. See, I am going to come. Don't text the text line. This is supposed to be a segment where I see what Diesel knows, and we have already got a Tolo who is spilling the beans on the text line.
I haven't looked.
Thank God.
I haven't looked. I mean, we do. We both have access to the text line.
Come on. JC, what are we doing here? I mean, did you pay him off, Diesel? Is that what you did? Pay this JC off? So
I work in radio. I don't have the money to pay off.
Oh
anyone.
my goodness. All right, this is going to be a lot of fun. Welcome into the show, Tolos, a Good Friday edition. He's Diesel. I'm Cole Bryson. So good to be with you on this Friday. And we are going to see how much Diesel knows about the lingo, the words and phrases broadcasters are not allowed to say at the Masters, Diesel. How well do you think you'll do at this?
Terribly.
You think so?
I think I'll be terrible at this.
I don't think.
I don't
really
have a clue what phrases you might not be able to say.
All right, so I'm going to go one by one, and I'm going to give you the word you can't say, and you must fill in the blank with the word that you can say. Now, this is mostly Jim Nance and those guys, who are very proper. They're seasoned. They're buttoned up.
Oh, so is this like that Howard Stern bit, blank a doodle do?
Maybe. I'm not going to make you say that. I'm not going to make you say that word. But this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Tolos, don't help Diesel until I ask. Well, he's not looking at the text line, so it's okay if you do text it in. All right, so JC brought this one up on the text line to begin with. This is where we start. You are not allowed to say the word fans if you're Jim Nance.
Okay.
You are allowed to say
patrons.
Bingo. You're off to a one.
Hey.
What are you down on yourself for?
Can I get a bell? Because I feel better about myself.
Yeah, you can.
Hey,
there's your patron. Okay. So you are already 1-0. What are you worried about? You're already 1-0.
The rest of them?
They might all be golf fans, Diesel, but you'll never hear that on the broadcast. If you've watched the Masters before, you know that the Masters fans are always called patrons, keeping things a little more proper. So the patrons.
That's why Pat McAfee's not allowed there. It's proper.
Maybe, probably so. I would love to be a patron at the Masters one day. If you are a Tolo that has access, you should hook Diesel and I up. I know I have a couple of friends that go and very jealous, very envious. All right. You're 1-0, 1 for 1, if you will, Diesel. And you know what? Heck with it. While we're doing this, what are we doing here with
some Masters music?
I know that's my fault.
Birds chirping, some bees buzzing.
I thought that as soon as I said it. I did see some azaleas today. I did. And it got me in the Masters theme. Oh. Is that it? Is that it? There we go. Perfect. Little background music for us.
Nice. Sounds like I'm at a funeral.
Yeah, but it's a nice funeral though. Just pretend like you're at Augusta National fishing the ponds before the Masters starts. That what you're talking about? Being a dream come true, right?
Classy,
All right, so Diesel, if you just tuned in, Tolos, Diesel, I am seeing how good he is at finding out which words, guessing which words and phrases you can't say at the Masters if you're a broadcast professional like Jim Nance. First one, fans. You are not allowed to say fans. You have to say patrons. You got that one correct. Number 2, you're not allowed to say the word or words sand trap. There are 44, by the way, of them on the course. Just don't call them sand traps. They're called blank, and that's the only word you will hear all week. It is not a sand trap. It is a
bunker.
You're 2-0.
Yes.
There's another ding.
Yes.
You are 2-0. Woo. Bunker is the correct word there.
So what's the history and tradition of calling them bunkers?
Good question. Sounds like something, a war term, right? Weren't there bunkers used in war? I think so. I don't know what the history is there, but you are you are really down on yourself, acting like you couldn't get any of these, and you're 2-0.
Okay. Bunker derives from the Scottish word for a container or box or hole. The word was bonker. Bonkar.
They just changed the letter.
Used to describe the naturally occurring sandy pits on early Scottish coastal links courses.
So it started in Scotland.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
All right, so you can't say fans. You have to say patrons. You can't say sand trap. You have to say bunkers. I think it's getting a little tougher now, Diesel. You cannot say back nine. The most iconic holes come late, but it's not the back nine at the Masters. It's always the
Amen corner. It's not the back
Where's my
nine.
button? Where's my button? I'm trying to find my button.
And it's not the back nine.
Wrong. Not amen corner. So it's not the back nine. It is the. This one's tough.
I don't know.
This one's tough.
I don't know.
It's going to make you mad when you hear what it
I'm
is.
be like, oh, I know that.
Well, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's like, well, why can you call it this, but you can't call it the back nine? All right, Tolos, let's phone a friend. And Tolos, it's easy for you to Google it.
Yeah.
That's not impressive.
Is that what it is when you see a female patron walking away from you and you think she looks good from behind,
the back nine.
and then you see her turn around, you're like, oh,
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Front's a 4, but back's a 9.
Maybe so.
Shoot.
Tolos, don't Google it. If you don't know it, just don't text in. But if you do know it genuinely,
Not the back 9.
without Googling it, because anybody can use Google. It's not the back nine. It is the
Home stretch.
Oh, it's good thought, but no. 844-326-3663. Again, that's 844-FAN-PHONE, FANFONE. Let's see if any of the Tolos can come to your rescue here.
God,
Again,
I don't know. I'm thinking of what else it could be.
326-3663. It's I will say this, it's kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb that you have to okay, I'll give you a hint. Leprechaun of Lyman, you're wrong. He says, I'll go with a second half. Would you have guessed that?
No, I wouldn't have guessed second half. That thought didn't occur to me.
All right, Lifeline, Diesel. You're getting a lifeline. We're going to Keith on the phone lines. Keith, can you help Diesel out here? It is not the back nine. It is the
outward half.
Oh, I'm
Keith,
sorry.
you there?
That's my
Try
fault.
again,
My
Keith.
bad.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry about that, Keith. Go ahead.
Half, the inward half.
You there, Keith?
Keith?
I'm here.
Sorry
There he
about
is.
that.
Okay, now we have you.
Go ahead. It is not the back nine. It is the
inward half.
No.
Inward half.
No, you're wrong. So good guess, though, Keith.
Inward half. No, it's not that.
No. One more guess, Keith. Do you have one more guess up there, up your sleeve?
No, that's it. Sorry, couldn't help.
It's okay, Keith. Try again
Turn
next
back,
time.
maybe?
Again, you're going to be very upset.
The
By the way, appreciate Keith.
slingshot, the boomerang.
Shout out to Keith for calling into the show and helping you out.
Good try. Good try,
Jay
Keith.
Tez on the the Joy Law Firm text line.
Mhm.
That was the old text line.
I'm gonna. By the way, I'm also going to minimize
Okay.
the stream so that I can't look at any comments coming in on the stream.
Jay Tez got it right. And Jay Tez, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you did not Google it. It is, as Jay Tez said on the Joy Law Firm text line, it is the second 9.
What?
I told you you'd be
What?
mad. I told you you wouldn't like
That's
it.
grammatically incorrect. There can't be a second 9 without the first 9. That's like saying
Yeah.
A, 2, and third. I think we should do this.
I knew you would be so mad. It is just kind of dumb.
Those Georgia rednecks, they don't know.
Not the back 9, but the second 9. So you are 2-1. Fans, you have to say patrons. Sand traps, you have to say bunkers. Back 9, you have to say second 9. Next one for you on the How Well Does Diesel Know the Masters terminology segment. You cannot say driving range on the broadcast.
Oh.
Yes, Diesel, there is a driving range, but you can't say that. Broadcasters call it this one's difficult. It is not a driving range. It is
Is it the warm-up area?
okay, you've got one word correct there. An area.
Okay.
You got
God,
area.
That doesn't help me. That does not help me.
You got
the
area.
Staging area?
Nope.
The
What do you do when you're at a driving range? Like, what are you doing?
hitting area? Swinging area?
You're
Loosening area?
oh, now you're getting warmer.
Loosening up area? Stretching area?
You're
limbering up area?
No, you're getting close. You're getting close.
Area 51.
What do you do like before a game? You
You limber up, you stretch.
But what's all that
you loosen
called?
Up.
That's all like during the week.
Calisthenics.
No.
Practice area. The practice
It
area.
is the tournament practice area.
The practice area. The practice area.
The tournament practice area.
See, normally when I warm up for a round of golf, it's I feel good about myself when I'm walking up to it, setting my bag down, putting the first tee on the ball.
Yeah.
And then it's the cussing area.
That's true.
Because I realize in my mind all week leading up to this round of golf, I thought I was going to play better today.
Yeah.
And then
unfortunately.
No.
All right, next one. You cannot say twosome.
Twosome.
Two players paired together isn't a twosome here, like it would be if you and Leprechaun and Lyman or whoever were playing golf together at the Masters.
I haven't played with the Leprechaun, but I played with his agent.
His agent. Yeah. You've heard this. It's not called a twosome when two are playing together. It is called a
couple.
Close,
no,
but wrong. Close though, like you're on the right
pairing. It's a pairing.
Bam, you got it. I will play your ding, your little ding. Okay, your bell. Sorry, not your little ding.
Like the pairing of Christy Gnome's husband's giant fake boobs.
Yes, and groups are called groupings. So that was good. You did good there. You got 3 right.
Thank you.
At the Masters on the television broadcast, you cannot say the rough. If you get your ball in the rough, Diesel, every golfer ends up there, but don't call it the rough. Augusta National Golf Club, it's officially called
the cut.
You got one word right.
It's like the first cut or second cut.
Second cut.
Second cut.
God, you're good.
First cut is the fairway. Second cut is I guess the first cut would be the fringe. Second cut's the rough.
Good job. You're on a heater. That's 4 and out of 5, right?
Or I can't tell you how many times I've watched my ball go into the rough. I visually know where it is, and you can't find it.
All right, Diesel.
So you just go off into the woods and you find another golf ball.
Another ball.
Clearly not yours. Be like, there's mine.
Just drop it. Yeah. Drop and play. The country club or the golf course, those 2 phrases will not be used at all this coming weekend.
Oh, gosh.
It might be the most exclusive club in the world, but you won't hear it that either. The country club or the golf course, you know this. It is simply
Augusta National.
Augusta National. 2 more words there. Golf club.
Oh. Okay.
That is
you didn't let me answer.
Well, you weren't going to get it.
Wow.
All right. Next one for you. Sponsors.
What's fun is you can go swing your golf clubs at the golf club.
Yeah, that's true. You will not hear Jim Nance or any of the broadcasters say sponsors next weekend. Sponsors run golf,
right?
Except here.
Oh gosh,
this one's difficult.
They call them supporters.
This one.
I'm trying to think of the word for it now.
Well, this one, Diesel, is a trick question.
They don't have sponsors.
Correct. This is the only tournament all year. There are no sponsors. I think we talked about that. Remember, it kind of funds itself, right?
Fascinating.
All right. You cannot say 4th round on the broadcast. Sunday isn't the 4th round. It's the
final round.
Bingo. God, that's good. That's all, but I'm going to throw one more at you.
Okay. Let's hit it. You
cannot say this year DUI. You have to say, what do you say in place of DUI?
In place of DUI.
And I don't know the answer, by the way, either. This is an open-ended question.
Invitation to rehab. Not a DUI. It's a reason to go to rehab.
So, in summary, Diesel, you actually did very well on this. Words and phrases broadcasters aren't allowed to say. Fans becomes patrons. Sand traps is the bunker. Back 9, second 9. I think that was the one you struggled with the most. Driving range is the tournament practice area. Twosome is a pairing. Rough is the second cut. Country club, golf course is Augusta National Golf Club. Sponsors, trick question, there are none. And 4th round is final round, and then we're going to add the DUI in there. You can't say DUI. I don't know. Maybe that's up to the Tolos listening or watching the show. If you can't say DUI, what could Jim Nance say in place of DUI? Does that get talked about, by the way? Like, is that on the script?
Driving in cursive.
I like that. I like that. Here's the bet of the weekend.
Oh,
You ready to place a bet? Place the bet right now. If you go on your sports bookie's website, does the broadcast crew talk about Tiger Woods' rank at all?
I'm going to say they do.
I'm going to say they don't.
I'm going to say they do because, I mean, obviously you can't have the Masters without talking about Tiger Woods.
You think they do? What do you say there? You can't say DUI at the Masters.
Tiger won the Masters 5 times. Obviously, they're going to talk about Tiger. So how do you just don't bring it up? You don't bring up like the biggest off-course story in golf?
That's a great question. Are they too good to bring it up? Are they too buttoned up? Texter just gets in from the 262. He says, no way. They're way too proper for that. And that's what Texter says, tigering. You like that? Tigering instead of DUI? So there you go. DUI, you can't say that on the broadcast. You go tigering.
You say Dewey.
Dewey.
Yeah.
Well, by the
Tiger
way,
got a Dewey.
it's been a while since we've heard from old Dewey. It's been way too long.
He popped in yesterday, drive by Dewey.
Maybe his phone bill not working or,
ran out of minutes.
Yeah, could be. So there you go, Diesel. Now you know what you cannot say if you ever make it big time and talk behind the mic at Augusta.
Fascinating stuff. I love that. That's really interesting, Cole.
It is.
That's really interesting stuff. Also, Cole, I just Googled weird golf terminology.
Mm-hmm.
What is a fried egg on the golf course?
Ooh.
What is a fried egg?
I've never heard of that. I've never, not one time, heard of a fried egg. Do
any of our Tolos know? 844.
Did you know it?
No, I found this out just when I Googled it. I've heard of some of these other terms when I Google weird golf terms.
Fried egg, like I just don't know.
What is fried egg? Is about that big around. Yeah. It's got the yolk in the middle.
Nothing to do with water, the ball in the water?
No, it's not a water thing.
Ooh.
It's where a ball gets half buried in the sand trap.
Oh.
And so it looks like a fried egg.
Because it's like the yellow.
Yeah, it's like the yellow.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's terms called a barkie, where you mark par after you've hit a tree, I guess. The fried egg is a ball half buried in the sand. A worm burner is a low shot that skims the ground. Apparently, people call the fringe frog hair. Never heard of that one before. And a snowman is what, Cole? What's a snowman?
A snowman, like I would think just off the cuff, would be something to do with, this is going to sound bad, but multiple balls stacked on top of each other, because that's what a snowman looks like, right? I mean, that didn't sound great coming out, but
okay.
I mean, what a snowman is just 3 balls.
A snowman is what you write down on your scorecard when you really got a 12, but you don't want to feel any worse about yourself. It's an
8.
An 8. You put an 8 on the scorecard. It's a snowman.
My buddy Tom knew that. He just texted me and said 8 on a par 4. How do people know this? I mean, I would never know.
I didn't know it was 8 on a par 4. I thought it was just 8. I mean, you could get an 8 on a par 3.
Yeah. Takes talent, right?
It is possible, yeah.
Speaking from experience,
most golfers get 2s, 3s, and 4s. It's hard to get an 8 on a par 3.
Man, J-Taz got it on the text line. He said, sand shot that sticks in the middle of the divot. Mm-hmm. J-Taz is an expert. Texter says, Cole, did you ever give a phone update from a couple of weeks ago? Yeah, that old phone that I had, Texter, it completely died. I had to go get a new one. So appreciate the question there, concern about my phone that died while I was on the air that day you were out. But that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Now we are more knowledgeable about some of these golf terms that you can and cannot say. Yeah. Now I want to hear Jim Nantz say fried egg.
I did get a fried egg once on a par 3 at, where was I playing at? Was it Pickens Golf Club? I'm not sure. But I was in Pickens, and it was a par 3. I plugged the ball in the green. Like, it was actually a really good shot, like 6 feet from the hole, 5 feet from the hole. Plugged it in the green because it was so wet. We had just gone out and played our first round of golf after like 2 weeks of nothing but solid rain.
Yeah.
And I stuck one a couple feet from the hole, and the ball was buried halfway in the surface of the green.
Wow. All right, real quick before we run to a break. egg salad or pimento cheese?
Pimento cheese.
Yeah, me too.
Pimento cheese.
Me too. I like egg salad.
It's okay.
It's
I like
okay.
deviled eggs better. I just
don't love them, right?
Yeah.
I don't love them. But
Plus,
yes, pimento cheese is the
eating deviled eggs and
Ooh.
egg salad sandwiches
Ooh,
in
in
the
the sun?
heat in
Ooh.
Augusta seems like a
Ooh.
recipe for throwing up.
No, or, well, I was going to say.
Dan B says, that's a green eggs and ham.
That's a good
Well
point. I see
done.
what you did there.
Well done, Dan.
See what you
When
did
we
there.
come back, Cole, I love this. Maybe you heard this audio. We didn't play it on the show. Sonny Dykes was throwing some shade at Josh Hoover after he left TCU to enter the transfer portal, ended up at Indiana. We'll play that audio and Curt Cignetti's response because Curt finally got out and talked about this in the media. That's coming up next.
Think you can hang with me?
In this modern world of college football, when a player that you've invested a lot of time, energy, and effort into leaves, you're supposed to wish them the best of luck, right? Unless you're Sonny Dykes of TCU, who took the opportunity last week, I think it was, to bag on his former quarterback, Josh Hoover, who ended up transferring to Indiana to play for Curt Cignetti. This was the audio from Sonny Dykes last week.
Stats are stats, and I think, you look for us, and I think Josh started 31 games here as a quarterback, and he turned the ball over 42 times in those 31 starts.
Yeah, it suddenly becomes a he. He turned the ball over that many times.
That was direct, wasn't it?
While he was here. He also, went into some other things saying we did this. When it's something good, it was a we. When it was something bad, it was a he, as a way to, obviously throw a little shade at his departing quarterback. Well, he's at Indiana now. Curt Cignetti responded to that little bit of audio, and I just want to give you a little heads up. It sounds like Kurt's a tiny bit underwater, but that's because it was really kind of a noisy microphone. So I ran this through a noise reduction filter, which always makes it sound just like a tad bit weird.
So he wasn't really underwater?
No, he wasn't really underwater, but this was Curt Cignetti's response.
I think the great thing is I'm excited about Josh, first of all. You can be clear about that. And he's got a body of work in terms of winning football games, passing yards, touchdown passes. Got to clean up some of the turnovers, obviously, which Coach Dykes made light of. But, when Josh got here, he met his two new best friends. Great defense and a really good run game. And he was never the same after that.
Wow. Cignetti.
Yeah, he's got a lot of turnovers to clean up. Sonny Dykes made light of that. But he got here and he met his two best friends. Great defense and a great run game.
There's some honesty in there, right? In those two clips of audio. I don't have an issue with it. Not really. I mean,
I thought it was obviously Curt Cignetti has his very own unique style, right? Yeah. And he was able to make fun of Coach Dykes for calling out a former player.
Yeah.
He was able to do it without kind of being a jerk about it, right? He could have been like, he's with us now and we have high hopes for him and we know he's going to be great and, gas the kid up. No, I think diffused the situation in his own very unique way that was absolutely perfect.
Let's go to the phone lines, 844-326-3663. I think it's been 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6 days since we've heard from Dewey. I don't know how he's gone that long, but he has called into the show. Dewey, where the heck have you been, buddy?
Oh, I've been busy.
Doing what?
I've been here. I've been doing things here and doing things there and then doing more things.
Like what?
And then I've been cutting the grass. I've been sunbathing.
Oh, boy. Bet that's a sight to see.
And getting paid to make people mad.
Dewey, are you that guy down in Fountain Inn that was on the news the other day for saying that he likes to lay out naked in his backyard?
No, but I want to meet him.
Oh, my God.
I hope he's listening to the show because I hope he sues the crap out of them. Because I sunbathe too.
God, I hope you got a high fence, buddy.
Yeah,
high fence.
And then watching the Braves, they've been doing okay.
Okay, they scored 17 runs, Dewey.
Yeah, but they haven't played no one yet. But they're doing a whole lot better than they did last year already. But last year they had the Dodgers and whoever made a schedule last year should be fired.
Yeah,
so
I think they already have.
Like the easiest schedule possible. So we'll see when they hit the National League East teams next week or next month or so.
Dewey, what about your Gamecocks with a big win over the Texas number 2 Longhorns last night?
Well, that was good. Maybe they'll keep Monty Lee around after all. That's just one win.
You're correct. It is one win. Good math there.
They got to do 2 more wins to make it count.
Wow. High expectation.
Clemson, I saw theirs back to number 15. How in the world are they number 15 when they've been sucking?
Yeah, they won't be ranked. I don't think that's right, Dewey, by the way. I don't think they'll be ranked long.
Well, they were like 15th. I could have swore they weren't ranked no more. I watched them the other week against Miami, and they suck.
They do.
Dewey, where you been on the stream?
Oh, I was on the stream yesterday.
Once. You messaged in once. That's not good enough.
Lame.
Oh, I'll do better.
Okay.
Thanks, Dewey.
Thanks, buddy. See you. Hear from you Monday.
The bosses frown. Sunday, what happens? So Sunday, the Easter Bunny comes.
I said we'll hear from you Monday, but have a good Easter, Dewey.
Yeah. Oh, happy Easter, because the Easter Bunny's going to come get everyone chocolate and chickens.
Oh my God, that just
Chocolate and chickens.
Sometimes
Peeps.
Sometimes I just don't
Gotcha.
know. Like, what do you say? What do you say?
He's
Dewey.
one of a kind.
Following that, we've got to talk sports, Diesel. Hard to do, right? But it's time for you and I to make our Final Four official predictions. The Final Four tomorrow night. We'll make those predictions next. Final Four Diesel begins tomorrow with Illinois and UConn at 6:09 p.m., 8:49 p.m. tomorrow, Michigan and Arizona. Also to note, you Lady Gamecock fans out there, you better get ready. 2 hours, just over 2 hours from right now. Final Four, Gamecocks, Diesel, and the UConn Huskies. That is a massive, massive game tonight here locally. Good luck to our friend and colleague Dawn Staley, who we've had on the show multiple times. We love Coach Staley, and we're pulling for it. Even though I picked UConn, I'm still pulling for South Carolina tonight to prove me wrong, and I guess I'll owe Kaki for a reason, a big fat ribeye after that. But the Lady Gamecocks tonight, let's start there, Diesel, since it is Final Four related. You're taking South Carolina. Mm-hmm. I'm taking UConn. Any last-minute changes on those two picks as we make our official predictions?
Not one bit. This is the turning of the tide. Dawn Staley going to cement her legacy, and she's going to push Gino Auriemma out of the way.
Wow.
Think about what happens, though, the day that Gino Auriemma retires, whenever that's going to be. And he's not a super old guy, but he's getting up there. Right? He's been coaching a long time. If he retires in the next, let's say 5 years.
How old do you think he is, by the way?
I'm going to guess Gino is 62, 63?
71.
What? He looks great.
He's 71 years old. So I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you, but
okay.
Yes.
Maybe okay. Now that I look at a recent photo of him, I was just going off my mental image of what Gino looks like. I was picturing a little bit darker of a hair, but no, you're right. He looks old. He's looking like a baseball glove.
But you're right. It could be if the Gamecocks sort of win tonight.
If he hangs it up sometime in the next couple of years, who is Dawn Staley's real competition going to be? Vic Schaefer and the coach at UCLA
and Kim.
Outside, she can take care of Kim.
She has a lot of times in a row now.
So Dawn's going to start stacking championships. Whenever Gino retires, Dawn Staley steps right in as that next GOAT level coach who will start stacking chips.
Text her.
Because you really think UConn's going to keep getting the recruits that they're getting? South Carolina's going to get some of those. Texas is going to get some of those. UCLA is going to get some of those.
Texter from the 706 says, love the Lady Gamecocks, but it feels like UConn is going to beat them worse than they did last year. I don't think so, Texter. The spread on this game, by the way, tonight is UConn minus 6.5, Diesel. I'm picking UConn to win the game. However, I could very well see South Carolina keeping it within 2 possessions.
Way to play both sides.
Well, that's right. You're right. Making some fans happy here. But I do. I think UConn could or South Carolina could very easily cover. But I'm going to go UConn tonight. I do think there's a world in which South Carolina wins. But I also think that world, Diesel, in which South Carolina wins tonight would have to involve Tessa Johnson almost going off, tournament Tessa-like. Joyce Edwards feels like she's consistent for 20-plus every game. I think it would also require Medina Okot and the bigs to be really, really good defensively, but also produce offensively as well. So there's a recipe there. I'm not saying there's no chance. I just like UConn tonight to win.
The recipe is South Carolina has to out-rebound UConn by 15.
Yeah,
they're going to have to do that, especially on the offensive side, because both these teams score a lot. UConn's defense is just so good. I mean, their average point total given up is 50 points all season long. South Carolina's is good too. It's sub 60, but South Carolina's going to have to be lights out shooting. You're right. Tessa Johnson's going to have to take over, and they've got to rebound. They've got to crash those boards and embarrass UConn in that stat. Otherwise, it could go the wrong way.
I can't wait. I'm pulling for Dawn Staley and the Lady Gamecocks. I really am. They're underdogs by 6.5 points. I like UConn tonight. You like South Carolina. The 9:30 game.
And South Carolina's got to limit the turnovers, because one thing UConn's really good at is creating turnovers off the steal. If South Carolina can limit that stat that UConn has been so good at, then they got another shot.
That's at 7. 9:30 game on ESPN, Texas, UCLA. Vegas really doesn't have a gauge on this one. Texas is only favored by 1.5. Now, UCLA is elite. They are very, very good. But here's where I am, and I'm going to be very open about this. I haven't watched a ton of UCLA women's basketball this year. I've watched Texas. Madison Booker, I think, is one of the best players in the country. I think Vic Schaefer's one of the best coaches in the country, and that has nothing to do with his turkey hunting skill. Nothing. Diesel, I do think Texas wins tonight. I think
do we know if he got one this morning?
No, we need an update. We do need you mean text him?
Yeah, do it.
Hey,
yeah.
Coach, I know you're about to play in the Final Four.
Here's what you do. You text Dawn, because I know you got her number. You ask Dawn for Vic's number, and then you text Vic. Hey, Vic, I got your number from Dawn. Did you get that turkey this morning?
I know y'all play in 4 hours, but can you confirm that you did shoot a turkey or not?
From a South Carolina turkey hunter,
yeah.
I need to know.
That would be great. Block.
He might actually respond to that, to
well,
be honest.
You know, it would be funny. Texas wins tonight, in my opinion. You like who tonight, Texas or UCLA?
I do like Texas in this game. I would love to see a Texas-South Carolina rematch for the national championship. Don't know if we're going to get it. I'd love to see it. This is a contest of stars. Can UCLA's Lauren Betts, who's 6'7", by the way, can she take this game over? Can she be a force on the boards? Can she score? She averages 17 points a night. If she can give them 22, 23, they got a real shot at winning this game.
Can you imagine a South Carolina-Texas national championship? Oh, my God. That would be crazy on Sunday. By the way, we're going to see 2 games in the time that we're off the air.
Just don't play it in Greenville or Vic Schaefer will lose his mind.
No, don't do that. So those are the women's games tonight. Tomorrow, 6:09 p.m., Illinois, UConn. Illinois is favored by 1.5. Diesel, I am very much back and forth on this game. I will tell you this. I was out at a local establishment last night where a listener who does listen to the show came up to me and asked me. He's an Illinois guy. He said, hey, Illinois or UConn tomorrow? And I don't know why exactly, other than the fact that they've been really, really consistent. My hunch, it's not always right. My hunch tells me Illinois wins tomorrow night over UConn.
And that's upsetting the 2.
That's a big task, Dan.
Yeah.
It feels wrong, Diesel. You know how like when Nick Saban was coaching at Bama, you just didn't bet against Nick Saban. You know, that kind of felt wrong. It kind of feels wrong to bet against Dan Hurley. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to pick Illinois tomorrow night to take down UConn. I think they're the better team in a lot of small, minute areas. Give me the Fighting Illini tomorrow night by a very small 3-4 points, Diesel.
But Illinois' defense got so good down the stretch. The back half of this season, they have become an absolutely phenomenal defense. And if that defense can hold Terrace Reed down to 8-10 points below his season average, if they can slow down the one guy, or not the one guy, let me rephrase that, because UConn's got a bunch of that guy on their roster. But if they can hold him down and force the other guys to step up and beat you, I like Illinois' chances. And what would it do to the national narrative, Cole, in all of college sports if we ended up with not 1 but 2 Big Ten teams in the national championship?
Be wild, especially after the conversations we've had in football, sure. Right? I like Alex Caravan a lot. I think Alex Caravan could be special tomorrow night for Illinois. I think you could see him go for 15, 20, maybe. 20 might be on the high end, but I think if you look at what you just said on the Connecticut side, Diesel, I think if you're UConn, you do have to really rely on a guy in Terrace Reed who, not just on the offensive side, but we talked about it after that Furman game, the way that he can clear the defensive glass, doing damage with the offensive boards. You know this. A lot of Tolos out there don't realize this, and I'm not saying you don't know ball. People just don't understand how important offensive rebounds are. It's like a fumble recovery in football, Diesel. When you get another possession, an offensive rebound, I'm telling you, there are, in my opinion, a lot of stats that matter out there. There are a few that matter as much as an offensive rebound.
Sure.
And that guy has the ability to rebound the basketball. If they can limit that, I think they've got a very good chance. But if you told me right now he goes double digits on the rebounds, on the boards, I kind of maybe do lean UConn, but I just think ultimately you've had 5 days.
Well, it gives you that second chance opportunity at a shot and points, but it also removes a possession off the other team's docket, and it forces them to play faster if you're hitting your shots. Now, if you just keep clanging shots and you get multiple rebounds at it, you still can't hit anything. doesn't help you a whole lot, especially if the other team is scoring. You know, we've made a lot about UConn's comeback win over Duke, and that was phenomenal in the way they were able to do that. But let's not forget that Illinois didn't have a great first half against Iowa either. I mean, they were 28 points in the first half of that game, and they came back and scored 43 in the second to pull away from Iowa, beat them by 11. So, yes, Illinois was able to pull away with its second half stretch or second half run. UConn was able to just get right back into a position to be able to win the basketball game. Both of these two teams are tested, and this is such a hard game to pick.
It is, man. It's hard.
Star powered, just off of that little Terrace Reed edition. I'm going UConn, but I don't feel great about that pick. Illinois is going to be really, really tough to knock out of this thing.
There's a guy that if he shows up tomorrow night and answers the call in a way that he hasn't in a few games, I think UConn could win. I'm talking about Solo Ball, a great basketball name, by the way. But Ball has had more lows, Diesel, than highs.
Is that Lonzo's brother?
No, believe it or not. As of late, right?
Lonzo Ball, not our Lonzo.
People got confused about that. Yeah, please, thank you for clarifying.
LaMelo.
The 6'4" guard has been cold. He's only averaged around 8 points per game in March. He was averaging about 14 points per game November, December, January, February. Diesel, you go back and look at UConn. Go back and look at the stats. When Solo Ball was averaging 14, 15 points per game, they were a much better team offensively. And he just hasn't been that. I don't know what it is exactly, but he's only averaging around 7, 8 points right now. So you look at what he did in December against Kansas and Florida, where he had 17 plus in both of those games. They're a different squad. They're a different team when Solo Ball averages above that 8.5 tick mark. If he has a big game tomorrow, Terrace Reed Jr. Diesel, he's just going to outsize, out-physical a lot of these players on a lot of these plays. I think Solo Ball is the X factor. If he plays well, I like UConn. But I am going to pick Illinois. One reason, UConn doesn't create as many free throw opportunities for itself as it does for opponents. Dan Hurley's team, Diesel, is one of the worst teams in America when it comes to putting opponents at the free throw line, ranking 307th, according to KenPom.
They foul a lot.
And it's one of the worst teams at generating free throw attempts, 306th. And the Huskies' 5 losses, they had 80 free throw attempts combined, while their opponents had 128. So that matters in this matchup. I like Illinois. God, I think this game's going to be close. I'm with you. I'm not confident in it, but I am going to go Illinois.
How do you pick against Dan Hurley, though?
That's what I'm saying. It's like picking against Nick Saban.
He clearly can get his team. It's not one of his most talented teams ever. It's hard to say that with Terrace Reed on this roster.
Guy's so good.
But you can't count a Dan Hurley team out ever.
No.
Would it shock me if Illinois got up on them by 12 and they had to mount another big time comeback? No, it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me one bit.
Dewey says 90-75 UConn. JB says Illinois 84, UConn 77. We'll get to the Michigan-Arizona game in just a second. Wesley Roberts on the Facebook stream. Good to hear from you, Wesley. He says whatever the total is for the Arizona-Michigan game, I'm taking the over to that game now.
Good plan.
8:49 on Saturday night, Diesel. It is Michigan. It is Arizona. And no offense to Illinois, UConn, but I think this is the game Saturday night that's going to have all the eyeballs on it. Michigan, Arizona, the star power, the offense. The Wildcats have been so dominant. Michigan's been dominant. 2 very good coaching jobs. A lot of good players. If I tell you I have difficulty picking Illinois, UConn, X that by 10 on this game, I'll be honest, I have no clue. We're supposed to pick game. I have 0 clue on this game.
How many future NBA players are going to play in this game?
1 or 2.
Yeah, I would say more like 6 or 7. They're that good across the board, both of these teams.
Arizona's good, man, and I think there's a path in Arizona. There's a path for Arizona to win. I think we talked about this a couple days ago. I think this will be strength on strength in the paint, and I think this is where this game starts for me tonight or tomorrow night, rather, Diesel. The paint's obviously incredibly important. But I also think when you look at what these teams want to do, I think the team that can tomorrow night come out, Diesel, and dictate the tempo and tell the other team, hey, this is how we're going to play, I think that's the team that wins this game. I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout and the spread's wrong, but I could see a scenario, a case in which one of these teams got off to a hot start, and dictated that pace and tempo. And when you dictate that pace and tempo and you're hitting on all cylinders and you're rebounding the basketball, Diesel, it's incredibly difficult for that script to flip. Now, it does. It happens. We saw it with UConn Duke. But I think whoever comes out and sets that tempo, sets that pace, going back to the paint, that's the key, I think. The Wildcats are top 5 nationally in paint points per game, offensive rebound percentage. They lead the nation in free throw attempts. But on the flip side, Michigan Diesel, top 5 in 2-point defense, block rate. They're really good defensively. And the Wolverines also limit their fouling. I think if Arizona can control the paint, the Cats have a good chance. They've got a good coach. I'm telling you, man, I think this is strength on strength. I'm struggling, though, Diesel, finding a lean on this one. I really am. I think it's a coin flip.
It's tough. This one, to me, comes down to Arizona's three-point shooting. They're a good three-point shooting team at 36%. They're going to have to go just a little bit above that. They're going to have to be just a little bit better than that, because if they're not, what's their alternative? They got to drive on one of the best shot-blocking teams in the country. You got to drive on Yaxel Lindeborg, try to put the ball in the hole? I don't think so, my friend. You know, Braden Burris is a really good three-point shooter, 40% on the season. Jaden Bradley, 39%. This one's a little misleading. Toby Awaka, he doesn't take a lot of threes, but he hits a lot of threes, a high percentage of them at least. So to me, it's are Braden Burris and Jaden Bradley, are they hitting their threes? If they are, Katie barred the door. This game could be this could be a great basketball game. If not, we could be seeing Michigan doing to Arizona what they did to Tennessee.
Wesley Roberts on the Facebook stream gets his. I can't even read this seriously.
That's the over-under, Wesley, for some
can't
other
read
games.
it seriously. He says Arizona 126, Michigan 123, NBA score.
Oh, my.
No chance. No chance.
You
It did make me laugh,
triple
though.
OT for that.
No doubt. No, maybe. Well, I said the other day, you told me the you got triple, quadruple, and quintuple. Thank you.
Yep.
If you were to go to 5, I look at Morris Johnson Jr. in this one. Johnson Diesel's been terrific this season for Michigan throughout the NCAA tournament, but he'll go up against the defender that he. I'm not saying he hadn't met his match, but when he looks across and sees those dudes from Arizona, Morris Johnson's going to have his work cut out for him. And Arizona was able to launch that comeback against Purdue, in part because of the Wildcats' ability to create mismatches, especially in the paint. Pete scored over small defenses. Burries hit a three-pointer. Oscar Clough chased him. Remember that from that game against Purdue? There are a lot of offensive and defensive matchups you look at in this game and think, area of concern there. I'm not saying I'm concerned for Michigan and a guy like Morris Jr. or Morris Johnson Jr., but Diesel, when you do look at the personnel on personnel, I think for both sides, they're going to look across when they get down there in the paint, and they're going to say, oh, God, that guy's just as big, just as physical, just as talented. I think I've said it 10 times now. The paint is where this game will be won tomorrow night. I'm going to make a pick. You're picking who? Do you know yet?
I'm picking Michigan.
And I'm leaning Michigan. But, my God, you could convince me in 30 seconds that Arizona could win. That's what I'm flip-flopping. I'm floundering.
Flip a coin, ride a seesaw, make a decision.
All right, so I went Illinois in the first game. You went UConn.
I went UConn.
Oh, heck. Let's do it again. Let's split again. You're going Michigan. I'll go Cats. Give me Arizona to win. I'll have Arizona versus Illinois in the national championship.
Arizona is going into this game knowing that their coach is staying. Michigan doesn't know that right now, right? I mean, the news has not come out. Dusty May has not denied any rumors or interest in North Carolina at this point. I'm sure he's been asked about it, but Tommy Lloyd got his new contract, and how about this, Cole? We'll talk about this coming up at 4:45 in the Daily Wires. He got a crazy stipulation in his contract, his new deal to stay at Arizona. I don't know that this is necessary. It's a weird one, but I love it.
Yeah.
And we'll bring it up. If you haven't heard this yet, Tolos, we'll have that for you at 4:45 as part of our daily wires. But when we come back, it is opening day baseball for the Hub City Spartanburgers. They start a 3-game series tonight, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7:05 first pitch. And we'll talk about it with the broadcast and media relations manager of the Hub City Spartanburgers, Ian Unsworth, coming up next.
Fan Upstate.
It's Wire to Wire with Diesel and Cole Bryson, joined right now by the broadcast and media relations manager for the Hub City Spartanburgers, Ian Unsworth. Ian, how many alarms did you set today? Did you have maybe a little bit of a Carter Jensen situation getting to the ballpark, or were you up at the crack of dawn because your body was just so excited to get out there for Spartanburgers Season 2 opening day?
No alarms needed this morning, fellas. I went for a run bright and early at 7 a.m. I'm on my second cup of coffee, but I think just seeing the field ready to go, seeing the players out there playing catch like they are right now, and seeing the fans come through the gates at around 6:15, 6:30, well, that'll keep me going until midnight.
Mm-hmm. Ian, what do those exhibition games mean for not only the team, but also you guys as an organization? You had a couple of those earlier this week.
Yeah, the exhibitions for the players are what they've been doing ever since spring training started back in February, right? They're playing against Low A Hickory, all guys that they know from Arizona, all players that have intermingled with the Spartanburgers roster currently, that know our coaches. Carlos Maldonado, our new manager, was the Low A manager last year. So he knew many of those players extremely well. And all things considered, in spring training, they mixed the teams. So half these guys have played together before, and there are some crawdads this year that played for the Spartanburgers in spots last year. So I wouldn't say those exhibitions give you the full picture, because when you know what the pitcher on the mound is going to throw like the back of your hand, it's a bit easier to hit, right? For us, though, as a front office and as a staff, it's a real chance to get the wheels turning, right? We have new things we're testing out this year, whether it be entertainment, promotional games on the field. We've got some new concession things as well, some new food offerings, including a foot-long hot dog that comes in a bun shaped like a bat. So, you pump out a couple of those and test things out and see how they work. And you can make improvements, right? We had the exhibition Tuesday, and now we have 3 days to make corrections for tonight.
Well, Ian, you mentioned your new manager there, Carlos Maldonado, and we talked about it earlier this week with South Carolina and the Gamecocks, and how a change in managerial philosophy can do wonders for a team. Now, good thing is Chad Comer had this team rolling last year. There's no need to fix anything, but tell us about Carlos's approach, how it's similar to Chad's, how it differs from Chad's. What's the look of this team going to be like this year?
Sure. So Carlos is a former big league catcher, right? Nothing that ever happens in high A will be too big of a moment for Carlos Maldonado to handle, right? He's seen it all. He played for the Pirates. He played for the Nationals. He played in the Venezuelan Winter League. He's played in all levels of minor league ball. So he is as seasoned as they come. And the Rangers do a really good job of establishing organizational values from top to bottom, right? From the big leagues all the way down to the Arizona Complex League where the rookies play. So from a base level of values and expectations, I don't think much will change in that point, which is good, because that means that the standards will still be high, and hopefully that leads to success. I think the vibe in the dugout and the vibe in the clubhouse may be a little bit different, right? Chad ran a pretty tight ship. He was a business guy, and he knew how to have fun when it was the time. But when Chad showed up to the ballpark, he was locked in and ready to go. Maldi, during media day, was blasting music out of a speaker in his manager locker room. So I think he's willing to be a bit more loose. He'll throw some jabs at the players and just try to get them to have fun. It's a long season, guys. We play 130 games. So if you get caught up in the failures and the successes, and you live and die by every result, then you're going to grow to really struggle with the game if you're not doing well. As we always hear, baseball's a game of failure. But when you can really enjoy being around the people in the clubhouse, and a big part of that is that loose atmosphere, the fun, the music, the jokes, the games of ping pong inside the clubhouse. When you can enjoy that stuff and take your mind off, I went 0 for 4 last night, it makes a big difference, and it helps the season fly by.
Ian, being at the ballpark last year, as a fan, one of my favorite things was to see what other fans did when it comes to gravitating towards certain players. And very quickly last year, in year one, you guys had several players that were the fan favorite, if you will. For those listening to this that have not been out to the ballpark, obviously with only a couple of games being exhibitions and a couple of high school and college games, can those fans expect The same fan favorites or maybe a new crop of fan favorites in 2026?
Well, the good news is for people that were here last year, we have over 20 returners. So there will be a lot of familiar faces, at least to start the season. Dalton Pence is our opening day starter. He's from Gastonia, right? He's a Carolina kid. He played at UNC, and he also started in the Rangers spring breakout game. He's a top 15 prospect. So that's fantastic. Behind him defensively, Anthony Gutierrez is leading off and playing center field. He was awesome last year. He stole the second most bases in the league. Only bummer is that he had to have season-ending surgery later on in August. But he's back. He's fully healthy. He's ready to go, and he's someone that is always smiling at the field. Arturo Diesla is back. The Buffalo, the Spartanburgers' first baseman, and just a big, lovable dude. He's hard not to like. Yeah. And Glader Figueroa, the Spartanburgers' home run leader, has also returned. In his age 20 season, he hit 18 of them. And dare I say, he looks even more filled out and even more muscular than he did last year. So he probably even has some more pop in the tank to showcase.
You know, Ian, there's a couple of times this year when fans are going to come to the stadium and they're going to see a team that looks wildly different from the highlighter green or white uniforms that they're used to seeing on the field. They're going to come and see a bright pink uniform for the Gusanos de Mezcal del Berg, and they're going to see a big old tequila worm on their uniforms. Explain to us what this is all about and when the fans are going to see that.
Yeah, of course. So that's part of MILB's Copa de la Diversión initiative, which translates roughly to Fun Cup. But it's meant as it's a league-wide initiative, MILB-wide initiative to honor and appreciate all of the Latin influences on baseball, whether it be the players and their contributions, the community here in Spartanburg, all across the country that show up to these games that add their own traditions to baseball. I mean, if you guys watch the World Baseball Classic, and how can you not? Like, how much fun did those games look when the Latino countries were playing? I mean, it was a party down in Miami. So we want to try to bring a little bit of that to Fifth Third Park. The Gusano is depicted in our logo as a humidor, which is a hardworking tequila farmer or mezcal farmer that's very focused on his process, right? It takes a little while to grow these plants. Then you have to age them. Then you have to smoke them. Then you have to strain them. And it's a very slow, defined process to make the proper kind of mezcal. And we kind of see that as a reflection of the minor league baseball player. You play a long season. Sometimes it feels like a grind, right? You're not going to be in the big leagues right away, but hopefully by the end of the year, you're a bit more of a finished product than you were at the start of the season. So we see a nice little correlation there, and we're happy to celebrate the spirit that represents the spirit of minor league baseball.
We're talking to Ian Unsworth, broadcast and media relations for the Hub City Spartanburgers. If you just tuned in, it is opening day in Spartanburg, the place to be this weekend. And as the season goes on, Ian, you mentioned a few moments ago about a lot of players on last year's roster carrying over to this year's roster. What do you think that does, not only from the fan perspective, but also the team perspective with the continuity? Obviously, that team in year one had a lot of success, even in the postseason. And then the new faces that you mentioned that have come in, do you believe that in minor league ball, it's rare to see such continuity carry over from year to year like we're seeing this year?
I definitely think so. Given that we had, double-digit players promoted last year up to Double-A Frisco, it's fantastic to see the group that we have remaining here as a core. And also, for what it's worth, the guys who went up to Frisco had great success last night in Frisco's opener. So it means that whatever's going on here is really, really working. What I heard from a lot of players last season, whether it be guys that had been here from day one or players that were bumped up from Hickory, middle of the year, end of the year, is that something that continuously energized them throughout the year was the idea of the playoff push, right? The fact that this team had a chance to make the playoffs in year one. That's something that kept them going through a 2-week road trip up to the Northeast where guys were sick, guys were tired, right? There were some flights and bus rides. And then through the end of the season where it's hot and humid and muggy in South Carolina, and some days your body's beat up and you're hurting. But the thought of making the playoffs for the team, for the fans, for the coaching staff, and the Rangers as a whole really kept the Spartanburgers going. I mean, this was the Spartanburgers were the only Rangers minor league team in full season ball to make the playoffs. So that's a great accomplishment within itself.
Opening day for the Hub City Spartanburgers tonight, 7:05 first pitch right there at Fifth Third Park. Starts a 3-game series against the Frederick Keys, and it's right to the I-85 rivalry and a long series against the Drive. That's next weekend. Just want to make sure our Tolos know that so they don't realize, not realize that it's coming and miss it coming up next weekend. Is there a moment that stands out about the multi-series kind of back and forth that you guys, the Hub City Spartanburgers, had with that team down in Greenville last year?
Well, there were so many good games. That's the first thing. I was reflecting on it with Andrew Silver, my broadcast partner, yesterday. There were so many close games between the Burgers and the Drive, and there were so many games where there were moments that made you blink and say, "Whoa, did that happen?" There was a game where a Greenville player went 5 for 5. There was a game where Arturo Diesel played left field. There was a game where the Spartanburgers made a 7-run comeback in the ninth to push the game to extras, right? At our place, we had the first ever grand slam in Spartanburgers history. Like there are so many different touch points from that series last year that stick out as great memorable moments in the inaugural season of Spartanburgers baseball. And then the last game of the year, Spartanburgers make a comeback and win it against Greenville. You clinch the series. And it just so happens that a week later, you need to beat Greenville to get into you need to pass Greenville to get in the playoffs. And because of those wins down the stretch of the season, it happens. So all of those games, I think, delivered on the field. And the great thing is that both of these cities traveled, right? We had a whole lot of lettuce green and blue in Greenville. And I saw plenty of Red Sox colors here in Spartanburg, and I love it. It's a very healthy rivalry here. I mean, it's the pro version of Furman Wofford, in my opinion. Like when those games happen, those venues are packed, and there is a whole lot of foot traffic in either city. And it's great to see it sort of translate from college on to pro.
Ian, no April Fool's jokes from the Hub City Spartanburgers this past April 1st, just a couple of days ago?
Well, we actually put out one of our promotional nights. It's Spartanburg night, where people are encouraged to bring their cats to the ballpark. Luckily, I have nothing to do with that, but it's out there, and you can certainly bring your feline friends if you want to. We got cats next Tuesday and dogs next Wednesday. It's Spartanburg night because we're honoring the Spartanburg Alley Cats and all of the collegiate summer wood bat teams that played here in Spartanburg as part of our Pastime series. You know, it's the 100th year anniversary of baseball at Duncan Park, so we're wearing specialty jerseys. They are so slick, fellas. It's a cream top, cream pants, and then this nice burgundy trim. It looks like a classic baseball uniform. And I got a lot of feedback after the exhibition on Tuesday, where every different player was wearing a different jersey, that the Pastimes stuff was everyone's favorite. So those are out there. If you want to check them out on the team store, go to the Spartanburgers website, and it'll be right there for you to click. But next Tuesday, I mean, maybe you're coming for the Cats, but if you are coming, check out the jersey. There's something special.
Ian, I'm picturing 2 fans out of the stands pushing giant balls of yarn from foul pole to foul pole. I don't know if there's enough time to pull that off.
Tuna out, guys. I'm sorry. We won't have cans of tuna or saucers of milk. That's not part of the Spartanburgers experience. We have a lot, but we don't have that much.
Well, they'll just have to settle for foot-long hot dogs with the bun the shape of a bat. How do you make a hot dog bun the shape of a bat? Aren't they all kind of already shaped like a bat?
Well, get this. We our catering team, OVG, and our chef Ann, partnered with a local company here in the upstate to specially craft these buns. Like you can't get these at your local Aldi or Ingles. Like you have to figure something out with someone who is an extremely skilled baker. I mean, I don't know if they have like a bun mold that's plastic and then they form the dough around it. Again, way beyond my skill set.
Ian,
it's very impressive what they do.
Sorry about that. My last question for you, Ian. This is fascinating. For those that haven't seen this, I saw it on TikTok, and I'm going to play the audio, and then I want your reaction in terms of explanation, what happened in this very audio clip. I heard this just a couple days ago, and here you are.
What it is. trying to make sense of it myself. Is that some sort of, that's not a foam finger that got caught up in the rainstorm, is it? Is that a balloon covered in dish soap? For those of you listening on the radio stream, I'd have to estimate it's about the length of one's leg. It touched down at about the first and second base split, halfway between the bags, and has now taken a course across the infield behind the mound over to third base side foul territory.
So, Ian, there was an object that just decided to make its way across the field. The call there was fantastic. Can you tell us what that was?
Yeah, so we eventually figured it out. They put dish soap. So I was on the right track with the dish soap thing. They've got a fountain over there in Morgan Square, walking distance from the ballpark, and they put a ton of soap in there. And the fountain started spouting off bubbles. And
wow.
I think this whatever mass this was large enough to travel all the way down Morgan Square, down to Daniel Morgan Avenue, and float its way into the ballpark. and we didn't see any other bubbles. That's the confusing thing. So the other bubbles must have been small enough that they all died off, near the Daniel Morgan statue or by the Johnson Building or the AC Hotel. But this coagulation of soap was large enough that it floated all the way down. And the best part of the video is Patrick Coakley, our head groundskeeper, picking the thing up with a shovel and dragging it off the field.
That's something.
That's fantastic.
Something we had never seen before. Ian, you are the best, my friend. Always appreciate you hopping on with us, and have a lot of fun tonight and this season. We'll talk to you again very soon.
Sounds good, guys. Looking forward to having you on the park.
Ian Unsworth, broadcast relations manager for the Hub City Spartanburgers Diesel. It was a wild object, and I sent it to you in your email. It is the weirdest looking thing I've ever seen.
Okay, because I haven't seen this photo yet.
Oh, it's fantastic.
And I was trying to picture it as past Ian was describing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't have a clue.
It was like so weird.
Did somebody float something into the stadium as like a viral marketing stunt?
Yeah.
Because that seems like it's plausible, but
it was a strange object. Very strange. So, you see it now?
Yeah, I see it now.
I don't know what it is.
The way
he
it's
didn't know
floating, it started out kind of looking like a ship.
Yeah.
Then it flips over and it kind of looks like a dolphin, and it just keeps changing shape.
It does.
And
it's the
morphing
weirdest
from this
thing
to
I've
that.
ever seen, man. It really is.
It's not a plastic bag, and as it scrubs across the infield, it leaves little bits of itself behind. It's crazy.
It was weird looking. Tolos. I will tweet that video out if I can. That way you can see what it was that was going across the field. So
you know what it looks like? It looks like one of those water bears. You ever seen those things?
Yes.
These like little single-celled organisms. That's what it looks like.
It is. In a way, it was very, very strange, but always appreciate Ian and his time. Baseball is back in year 2 for the Hub City Spartanburgers. So that's going to be a lot of fun all season long, Diesel. We've got to get to our top headlines, our daily wires next.
This is Wire to Wire with Diesel and Cole Bryson on the Fan Upstate.
Diesel, a lot to get to on this Friday, a good Friday edition of Wire to Wire, our sports headlines, our daily wires. It's the buzz. Can you explain this to me? South Carolina baseball, this is not a typo, defeated the number 2 Texas Longhorns 9-1.
That's got to be a typo. That's got to be a typo.
Thursday?
There's no way.
Like, what?
Hey, no way.
I saw that last night, and I was keeping up with the game. They had a big inning in the second, 5 runs. They're still only 2-8 in conference play, and it's just one game. But, oh, my word,
But
how
those
big of a
two
game.
are 2 big ones.
Florida and Texas? Or no? Is that right?
They beat Arkansas.
Arkansas, and you're right. Arkansas and Texas. Arkansas and I'm telling you, it's one game, but that's a big win for Gamecock baseball.
2 is at 7:00
tonight, right?
Yep.
Oh man, let's see if they can somehow win the series. That is wild, but congratulations to Monty Lee and the Gamecocks. What a big win! The Atlanta Braves now 5-2 on the season, Diesel, after a 17-2 explosion over Arizona on Thursday. The Braves put up an 8 spot in the 5th inning, 5 in the 9th. Grant Holmes takes the mound for the Bravos tonight, 9:40. Boy, what a turnaround. What a difference from last year. Now 5-2 this year. Much, much, much better.
Ride the wave as long as you can, like JB said. Get these dubs now.
Yep.
Insulate yourself later if you go 500 down the stretch.
Love it. Love it. Buzz in the city up north. They don't call it downtown. They call it uptown. And the Hornets were victorious on Thursday, Diesel, with a 127-107 victory over the Suns. Miles Bridges, 25 points. Con Knipple was awesome. He hit 4 threes. The Hornets, a couple of bumps, couple of, road bumps here and there, but the Hornets looked really good last night.
Yeah, the Hornets are just on fire right now, and the Hornets are back in action tonight. Cole against the absolutely putrid Pacers, who are 7-31 on the road this year.
Like 7 wins?
7 wins.
What?
7-31.
God.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No, the Hornets now are 5 games over 500. Look at them riding the wave.
We'll get into this in 5 o'clock hour, but after crashing his SUV last Friday in Florida, Tiger Woods took out his phone and told a deputy, "I was just talking to the president," according to body cam footage. We'll get into this. I'm going to hold my comment.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. What a quote there. I was just talking to the president.
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal. Oklahoma City, L.A. Lakers star last night, not good, exited the 139-96 loss with a strained left hamstring. Luka ruled out. He is undergoing an MRI today. Hopefully not good, or hopefully it's okay, Diesel, because the Lakers were actually really heating up, and this team was starting to look really good. And obviously they're a much different team without Luka, so we'll see on that.
I'm looking to see if there's any updated information, and I'll try to grab it during these next couple daily wires on Luka.
Whew, that's big, man. That is big. The NBA world kind of sitting, waiting on that. Let's see. 2-time All-Pro cornerback Stephon Gilmore announced his retirement from the NFL on Thursday. "I've had an incredible 13 years in the league. I cannot wait to see what this next chapter holds," Gilmore said. He's 35 years old. Diesel, obviously a South Carolina Gamecock in Stephon Gilmore. So good to see him hanging it up, because I say good because he's had a really good NFL career. He's really excelled in the NFL, and happy for him. Happy for him.
An hour ago, some video came out of media members covering this, saying he's undergone his MRI. Results are still pending, so we don't know yet.
That's big, man. That is really big. Phil Mickelson announced on Thursday that he won't play in the Masters next week because Tiger's not playing. No, that's not the reason, right? I'm sorry.
He's not going, so he's not going either.
I'm sorry. So his family is continuing to navigate a personal health matter. It'll be the first time since 1994, Diesel, that 5-time Masters champion Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson, a 3-time winner of the Green Jacket, both miss the first major of the season since 1994.
The ending of an era.
That is 32 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
94 was a great year for rock and roll albums, too.
Woo!
Amazing year.
What a big announcement that is. No Phil, No Tiger. Hey, Chad Morris's son. Why is he in the news? Well, a Virginia Circuit Court judge denied Virginia quarterback Chandler Morris's request for an injunction, preliminary injunction. Diesel to play a 7th season on Thursday. The 25-year-old quarterback sued the NCAA in Charlottesville Circuit Court in February in an attempt to return for one more season after his extension of eligibility waiver and appeal were denied by the NCAA earlier this year.
I'm sure, with legal process, it's never over. I'm sure he'll find another way to appeal again.
Yeah, hey, if you're a Connor Griffin fan, if you know who that is, the Pittsburgh Pirates calling up the guy, Connor Griffin, the number 1 prospect in baseball, Diesel, ahead of their home opener against the Orioles on Friday. 19 years old, Connor Griffin expected to take over at shortstop. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this kid has had a lot of potential. We'll see. We'll see here. And last one for you, Arizona head basketball coach Tommy Lloyd has agreed to a new contract. Reports say UNC offered Tommy Lloyd a top 2 contract in college basketball, but Lloyd said, no, I'll stay at Arizona. Tolos, we also will throw this Daily Wire in there as well. We probably can get to it in the 5 o'clock hour, Diesel, but there is a report from On3 that President Donald Trump is going to sign an executive order to control-ish, that's the word I'm going to use here. Not control, maybe that's a bad word. To help with what's going on with the transfer portal and NIL in college sports. I think we'll have time to get to that in the 5 o'clock hour. Those are your Daily Wires.
Buzz, 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 buzz. Let's go to the phone lines in the next segment. We'll wait. So Tom in Somerville, see you on the line. Give us about 5-6 more minutes. We'll get to you next. And Cole, a real-life Seinfeld moment for a Major League Baseball rookie. We'll have a couple laughs over that next.
Fan Upstate.
Cole revealed to me during the commercial break that he is not a Seinfeld guy. You either are a Seinfeld guy or gal, or you're not. You love Seinfeld or you don't love Seinfeld. Well, there was an episode, Cole, in Seinfeld when Elaine was hosting a marathon runner who had previously missed an Olympic race because he overslept.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she is unreliable, so Jerry takes over and ensures that he'll wake the guy up. And then he takes him to a hotel because they got the wake-up call service.
Oh.
Well, then Jerry gets into it with the wake-up call service guy, and now he thinks that the wake-up call service guy has it in for him, and he's not actually going to make the wake-up call. Yeah. So he takes him back to his apartment where he sets like 5 alarms. But then Kramer overblows the circuits because he's got a hot tub in his apartment in New York City. A power goes out, alarms don't go off. Marathon runner misses another marathon.
Man.
That is not entirely dissimilar from what happened to Kansas City Royals 22-year-old rookie catcher Carter Jensen, who had to be scrubbed from the Royals starting lineup because he slept through his alarm.
Wow.
He didn't hear it go off. It was just beep, 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 beep for potentially hours, I guess. And he didn't know. So he showed up late to the ballpark, didn't have enough time to do the typical warm-up that you got to do, so they had to scrub him. He eventually got into the game in like the 9th, but he missed it because he overslept.
We're humans, and while we think, oh, how would a professional do that? It happens. It does. And it's a terrible story. You get scratched from the lineup, but it's life. Sometimes you oversleep in things.
It's a rookie story if I've ever heard one. Was it Willie Mays Hayes overslept in Major League? So he said, I didn't wake up to my alarm. I slept through it. Don't really have an excuse, nor should I. It sucks. It happens. I feel like I let my teammates down and my coaches down. Just learn from it and just know it won't happen again. Now, apparently the team had no idea what was going on with him. They were like panicking a little bit, calling family. Is he okay? Where is he at? Nobody could get a hold of him. Oddly enough, Cole, I would think that the team, especially in baseball, right, because it's a loosey-goosey kind of sport, I would expect that the team would give him a whole lot of crap. But they, at least publicly in the media, have not given him any of the crap.
Yeah, if he were a rookie, he's not a rookie.
He's a rookie.
Oh,
yeah, he's
no.
a rookie.
If that's the case, they should. They should hang him out to dry. If he's a rookie, your rookie has to, go through the rookie gauntlet. And, if he were an older guy, you give him a pass. But as a rookie, you got to give him crap for that, no doubt.
In fact, they were calling his parents. Like, hey, where's Chris?
Is he dead?
Carter, what's his name? Carter. Where's Carter? You know where Carter is? They're like, I don't know. What do you mean? I mean, parents panic over that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to the phone lines and go to Tom in Somerville, who couldn't be bothered to hold through the break. He hung up and called us back. Tom, what's on your mind?
Hey, guys. So, I declined to go to the baseball game last night.
Oh, God.
My wife went, but I'll say this. I stayed up and I watched the Atlanta Braves score 17 runs. Everybody in the lineup had an RBI. First time since 2001 that has happened. And, the way I looked at it, the Gamecocks and the Braves won by a combined score of 26-3, if my math is correct. So,
wow.
And, I know Clemson got their face kicked in the other night against Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they played last night, but, they may have beat us in the series. But right now, the Gamecocks are playing better baseball than the team up the road.
Yeah, they are. Tom,
can't argue with that.
How bad do you, one game sample size, how bad do you feel that you had a chance to go to that game where they beat the number 2 team in the country and you chose to stay at home?
Well, maybe it's a sign. Maybe the sign is if I don't drive up to Columbia, they'll win. So as long as they're winning, I don't care. I'll stay home all year if that means they're winning.
How long does it take you to get to the ballpark from Somerville?
Well, if I'm driving and there's no idiots on the road, I can get there in an hour.
Okay.
Hey, Tom and Diesel both. I want to hear both of the reactions on 2 pieces of news, Tom. and they're just coming in red hot. Sorry. Number one, Diesel, Tom, NCAA leadership is expected to finalize an expansion of the men's and women's basketball tournaments to 76 teams after this year's tournament.
More blowouts.
More on both sides, men's and women, 76 teams.
How bad is Dawn Staley's team going to beat the lowest seeded team in a 76 seed
Hopefully
tournament?
they'll get like 2 buys. But Tom, your reaction to that?
This is stupid. Okay, now look, we don't want to see Auburn play in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not a good they were not a good basketball team. And no offense to the ladies, but look at the score differentials between the 1 seeds and the 4 seeds. We do not want to see any more teams play. The tournament is perfect at 68 teams. Leave it at 68. We all know it's about money, but we need to get Dewey in there and yell at him and threaten to fire somebody, because I'll be honest, changing the NCAA tournament, nobody wants that. Nobody wants more teams.
Yeah, I think you're right.
When does it stop? Because in 5 years we're going to say, oh, let's make 84 teams and then 96 teams and then 150. Like, who cares? It's perfect the way it is. Leave it alone.
Tom, you're the man. Appreciate the phone call.
Go Gamecock.
Good on you, Tom.
And then Diesel, the second piece of news from Pete Nakos. Just moments ago, President Donald Trump has officially signed an executive order that will not impact college basketball portal next week.
Sure.
But will impact college sports, starting with college football, where, again, this will go to court, of course, right?
Mm-hmm.
Athletes will have 1 free undergrad transfer that has been signed as of just a few minutes ago. And Diesel, I don't know if it'll hold up or not. Probably not, right? Because, like I said, this is going to be brought up in many courtrooms across America.
Yeah.
But huge news if it were to hold. What do you lean? Do you lean it holds, or do you lean there's no chance and you know where that this holds?
I would love to see this hold.
Me too.
I would love to see this hold. Recall, though, that an executive order is not a law.
Yeah.
Right? It's not. It doesn't automatically make this the law.
And
of
it
the
can be
land.
legally challenged.
It can be challenged.
Yep.
It still has to be implemented. My very loose understanding of an executive order is it's basically a directive to tell other people, hey, go make this a law and make this happen. Now, obviously, when that happens, you have to negotiate all over the place. I think the push should be granting the NCAA the authority to manage its own affairs with the directive of operating under this paradigm going forward. Like, hey, we're going to give you the autonomy to hold up in court against all of these lawsuits that are coming at you. And then this is what we are directing you to do with it.
And that's the thing, putting something in the hands of the NCAA, do you trust it? Do you feel like it's going to happen? You don't. But at the same time, like you said, an executive order can be challenged. This is an executive order to regulate college sports in the near future. The order is expected, Diesel, to encompass transfer movement, player eligibility, funding requirements for women and Olympic sports, and reins in NIL collectives. The order threatens to review federal government grants and contracts for colleges and universities that do not comply with NCAA rules. Specifically, athletes will be given 1 free transfer as an undergraduate, and again as a graduate, sources told On3. Also, important note, multiple provisions, Diesel, of the executive order address areas that federal and district courts have previously ruled on. However, it creates a situation where the NCAA members will have to follow Trump's order or ignore previous judicial decisions. And like we said, courts have struck down these before.
Sure.
Several of Trump's orders in recent months, right? Trump previously predicted that the order would be challenged in the courts. A key sticking point, that'll be whether the president has legal authority over NCAA rules. I think that's probably what will be challenged in court the most, right? Is that the president does not have control over NCAA rules.
And this is, I find this interesting where you said schools are essentially being directed to follow this executive order. And if they don't, they risk losing federal funding. So now we've got, we've got institutions that have typically pushed back against any federal intervention, now essentially needing this federal intervention. You also kind of have the academic side versus the athletic side of a university. Athletics are the front porch of the university. That's you know, kind of a common tagline is sports are how you attract the students to come to you. You know, there's a reason why out-of-state tuition at Alabama is through the roof. A lot of places it's through the roof because they went through a series of national titles and everything was great. And kids wanted to come there from out of state and be a part of it. And they raised the tuition, making it incredibly expensive. And then you got schools basically having to say, well, we need this federal funding, so we need to adhere to this.
No, you're right. You're right. By the way, Connor Griffin Diesel, who I talked about in the Daily Wires, baseball's #1 top prospect, just got in the game, roped the RBI double to center field in his very first big league at bat.
Wow.
Which is incredible for the Pirates. This kid's he is the biggest deal in baseball. And first at bat, RBI double, pretty impressive.
Whatever happened to that guy we had audio of him last year. He was like the #1 prospect in the Red Sox. Remember that? He was like called out to, they said they were having to like hide him in laundry baskets and stuff to get him in and out of the stadiums.
We need our Red Sox fan Tolo.
And then he got called up. And we never heard.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Not Roman Anthony, right? Roman Anthony was. Who was that? I don't know if Roman Anthony was started in the minors or not. That's a good question. I remember what you're talking about there.
It is Roman Anthony.
Was it Roman Anthony?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was last year. Yep. He had to hide in a laundry cart covered with bags to avoid autograph seekers. And then he got called up. Where was he playing in the bigs right now?
No, he's still with the Red Sox. He's going to be, he's been pretty good. He's going to be like really good. I was watching a podcast the other day where they were talking about him. I think he's averaging like 250 right now, but the potential that he's got, Red Sox fans should be lucky or feel lucky.
Played 71 games last year, had 75 hits in 71 games, scored 48 runs. So far this year, he's had 26 at-bats with 6 hits. So not off to the hottest start this year, but he was phenomenal when he was called up last year.
I think he's going to be really good. Let's go to the phone lines, 844-326-3663. The phone lines are open, Tolos, with whatever direction you want to go. Rick in Greer, what's up, Rick?
I just want to say thank you for talking about the Braves. They must be better this year, and I hope they win this year, okay? I'm sick of them being rotten, and I'm sick of Clemson being rotten, and I'm sick of Carolina being rotten. I got to pull for somebody, please.
Yeah, Rick, how about this? The Braves are coming up, which is our regional major league team. The Panthers are coming up, which is our regional NFL team. The Hornets are coming up, our regional NBA team. You know, we were in a sports desert for a long, long time. And it feels like all these ships are rising at the same time.
I'm not pulling for the Hornets. I'm not pulling for anybody that has because they have a player named Candy Nipple. I'm not pulling for him. God. Okay? I'm not pulling for him with a guy. His name is Candy Nipple. Okay.
It's Nipple. No. It's Knipple. If you feel weird saying it, Rick, if it makes you feel a certain kind of way, people are calling him K2. If that helps, you can call him K2.
No, my God. And I said, oh, my God, I don't feel like pulling for Candy Nipple, okay?
Rick. Rick, you never cease to amaze us,
Drop
Rick.
of the day.
Oh, my God.
The Masters is coming up. Let me get my prediction on the Masters.
Oh, wow. Okay. Early. Yeah.
Who do you think? Scotty Scheffler's going to win.
You think that, or are you asking us?
I think Scotty is going to win.
Oh, wow. Bold prediction there, Cotton.
Why, though, Rick? He's been terrible in first rounds of tournaments this year, and he's missed 2 weeks in a row because his wife just had a baby. So he's not sleeping right now.
because he said somebody told me, my little stoolie told me that he's had 4 practice sessions in the past 8 weeks out there, but he's getting ready.
Well, I'm sure he has. I mean, everybody is.
Everybody's getting ready.
He's ready to do some.
Well, Rick, that's a bomb drop, letting us know that Scotty Scheffler is your pick to win the Masters. I mean, hey, talk about going out on a limb there.
Yeah, and I'm glad you cleared that up about the Hornets. I just couldn't pull for them.
I got some other big news for you, Rick. Water is wet.
Yeah. Can you pull for them now that Diesel's clarified his name?
Yeah, and it's not Candy Nipple, it's Con Nipple.
That's it. That's it. K2 for short.
That's almost as bad.
Oh, God. Thanks for the call, Rick.
Thank you.
Oh, dear God. You just with Rick, you just never know what's going to come out of his mouth.
Oh, my God.
You just never know. By the way, they just interviewed on MLB TV Connor Griffin's parents after his first career at bat, double, rope the center field. That's a pretty cool moment right there, Diesel, for the Pirates. They're up 4-0, by the way. And that is one of those sporting moments, even if you're not a big baseball guy. That's what sports is about, right? There he is on TV.
What if this is sort of a harbinger of the Pirates coming back? Because it's been a long time since the Pirates have been any good. And I remember, I don't remember who said this, but I recall hearing recently someone say the Pirates really, really, really got to get Paul Skeens some run support, or he's going to look for his first opportunity out of Pittsburgh. He might be doing that anyway, right? He's probably just trying to figure out, how do I get to LA and make the Dodgers even better?
Well, he hadn't been great this year either. Paul Skeens, he had a little rough start. So it's interesting. They definitely need it. And look, there's a reason they pulled 19-year-old up, 19-year-old Connor Griffin up as quick as they did. It's game, 6, 7, 8. So they need him. And they're all they're doing is showing him on TV. So that's all they're doing. I mean, it's
a big deal.
It's a big deal. So he was the number 1 prospect, and he just came in and roped a line drive to center field for a double. So pretty cool stuff there, even if you're not a baseball fan.
Love to see it.
I don't know, to kind of close the book on this executive order, I don't know if I have a strong opinion yet in terms of where it'll go. Like you said, I would love for it to stick. I just don't know. We've now seen that the president has signed it into order, but now how many courts are going to sue? I mean, how many? It just feels like it's going to be a huge cause and effect, Diesel, with this being written. I just, maybe my optimism is low.
Is it a little wishful thinking? You think the
I think so.
Desire to essentially turn the clock back to the good old days. But I do appreciate that it has those provisions for funding minimums for certain sports. We saw it last week with Campbell and their basketball program. Their coach just quit, said, hey, if you're not going to fund the sport, I'm gone. So don't know how exactly that would, trickle down to all the different programs on campus. But if you start adding some minimum funding requirements, you may see schools say, all right, well, we can't meet those requirements and cut it, but at least they won't continue to try to operate on a shoestring budget forever.
And I just wonder how much Nick Saban, how much say he had in this. They had that round table was Adam Silver and everybody
was there.
You and I don't know why we didn't get invited.
I was there. Were you not there? I thought I saw you in the back.
No, I wasn't there. I was not anywhere
Rick
close.
From Greer was there. Dewey was there. Tom in Somerville was there.
That would be a heck of a round table right there, wouldn't it? That'd be a heck of a round table. By the way, Braves fans, Braves back in action tonight, 9:40, I believe, after a 7-2 win last night. The Braves are 5-2. 1-0, undefeated on the road, Diesel, are the Atlanta Braves. Let's see, Grant Holmes versus Rodriguez tonight for the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks now 3-4 on the season. So let's see if the Bravos can get it done. Reds, Rangers tied at 2, bottom of the 5th. Cubs lead the Guardians right now 1-0. A lot of good baseball, but let's see if the Bravos can keep this hot streak going. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Let's get back to Tiger Woods. And we'll mention the Lady Gamecocks as well for the new audience. We'll give our predictions on that because they tip off here in hour and a half. Tiger Woods, the video and audio has been released, Diesel, from after his rollover. This is some crazy stuff. We'll play the audio. And who'd he call as soon as he got in the rag?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it next. to get into a little Tiger Woods because it seems like everything that continues to come out about Tiger Woods is just intriguing with what happened, 1 week ago from today, right? With
Sounds
the
right.
rollover. He's had more rollovers than I've ever seen. Like, I'm 29. I don't think I've ever seen rollovers on the roads out there. I think Tiger Woods has had more rollovers than I've seen in person. How many rollovers have you seen? Many?
Very few.
That's what I'm saying. He's had more than we've seen. So, not picking on Tiger, but this thing just gets more and more intriguing by the day, it feels like, Diesel.
Yeah. Hey, Tiger, you're a golfer, not a stunt driver. Stop rolling your car over.
Hey, maybe that's his career that he should pursue now because he's just a cat of 9 lives, it feels like, right? Before we get into that, let's touch on South Carolina. The Lady Gamecocks, 1.5 hours from right now. 7 o'clock tonight, Diesel, on ESPN, the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship Final Four. UConn favored by 6.5 points. We talked about this earlier in the show. Had a couple of Tolos get their predictions in as well. 6.5 points. That's 2 possessions. I think that's probably around the area where I feel this game will end up. Do you see this game, when you look at UConn and South Carolina, having a better chance of being a 1-possession game or a blowout? If I had to put you on the spot, what do a 1-possession game?
I think it's a 1-possession game.
Think so?
Yeah. Dawn and Gino's teams have been going at each other for a long, long time. Dawn, we know this team has got a ton of talent, and Dawn Staley is a master tactician. I think as much hype as UConn is getting, and it's well-deserved, they are exceptional. I think Dawn's going to have this team ready for a rock fight.
I hope so bad. I really do. I want it to be a great game. That was a bad play at first almost, by the way. Pirates, Baltimore game on right now. Pittsburgh leading 4-0 over Baltimore. I want it to be a good game, and I think I'm siding with you. I don't expect a blowout, Diesel, but I guess I'm just kind of leaning in too much in what happened last year in the national championship game. Mm-hmm. Listen, they don't have Paige Beckers this year. That's a huge part of it. They're still very good. UConn is. But Paige Beckers, Diesel, was also really good last year. So I do feel better than I did last year for the Gamecocks. I just feel like tonight there are going to have to be several players for South Carolina step up in a major, major way. Tessa Johnson, I think, has got to go for 15+. I think Okot and a few others off the bench have to be special tonight, not only scoring but rebounding, second chance points, limiting the offensive rebounds, Diesel, from UConn. But then at the same time, firepower. Who's going to be your consistent scoring firepower? UConn favored by 6.5. I think that's about right. I think that's where I'm predicting a 2-possession game in favor of UConn, maybe a 9-point win. You're going Gamecocks, though, right? You're sticking with it.
I'm sticking with Dawn and the Gamecocks, mostly because I don't want that smoke from Dewey, who's been giving you a hard time for not rooting for South Carolina. You are rooting for South Carolina.
I'm rooting for them.
But you're predicting that that UConn actually wins this basketball game.
I want our state. Look, I want our state to win. I want Dawn and the Gamecocks to win. It makes life better. We have a team in the national championship. She's already won 3. Why would I pull against them? That's a good question. Didn't mean to cut you off there. The Clemson fans tonight, if you're a Clemson fan, and it's South Carolina, UConn.
Right.
Do you pull for UConn just because it's South Carolina?
No, I think you got to pull for South Carolina because you're going to have the opportunity to match up against South Carolina again next year. And then that brings more attention to this matchup. Just for the sake of, it's going to pull in more eyeballs from all over the country. And if you can look good against them next year, beat them next year possibly, even though that's a long shot.
Long shot. I didn't mean to cut you off there again.
Yeah.
Grayson Mann tweeted out some news earlier today about women, about the Lady Tigers. One of their top players, and Hannah Cohn, has entered the transfer portal. I say not top player. She was middle of the road, but we'll see. A depth kind of player for Clemson this year. You're right, though. But do Clemson fans feel that way?
Right.
Do you think Clemson fans out there?
No. They're pulling for UConn. They're definitely pulling for UConn. No, I mean, Joyce Edwards gave him 24 against TCU. A phenomenal performance from her, 50% from the field, by the way. Medina Okot was a little bit down from her normal production. Tessa Johnson was a little bit down from her normal production. If they can get Tessa and Medina just to their season averages, I think they win this basketball game. I mean, they need big performances from both of them.
Yeah.
To feel comfortable about this game. If they can get that, then you don't let UConn key in on Joyce Edwards or Agat McKeer, who had a phenomenal game coming off the bench against TCU.
I don't know why I keep saying her name, but I think Tessa Johnson's the X factor for Carolina. I really do. I think if Tessa can be tournament Tessa and have 15 plus, Diesel, I think South Carolina can win. But this is a matchup of firepower. Do you have enough firepower, explosive offense? Tessa didn't have a great game in the Elite Eight. I'm mixed on this. Lefty Tiger gets in on the Joy Law Firm text line and says, absolutely not. Go UConn. I'm more worried about us getting swept by Stanford on the diamond. If I smell the Savannah Bananas next season, EV got some splaining to do. So the question was, are Clemson fans out there going to pull for Carolina tonight against UConn? Let's go to the phone lines, 844-326-3663. A resident Gamecock, Mustin, calling in. Mustin, do you think Clemson fans tonight will swallow their pride and pull for South Carolina?
Hell no, I don't want them to pull for South Carolina. Are you kidding me? I'm not pulling for them, so why do I want to wish for Clemson fans to pull for South Carolina? Wish us the worst luck possible, and we'll take it and go from there.
But it's the in-state program. You don't want your state to win?
No, hell no. Hey, look. When my boys decided to go to college, and both of them went to South Carolina, everybody said, "Well, Mustin, I guess they didn't really have a choice." Yeah, they had a choice of any college in the country but one. And, they know where their heart was, and that, they took South Carolina. I mean, they could have went to PC, and I would have supported and wrote a check.
How kind of you.
So you don't believe in the power of positive vibes coming from Clemson fans? You don't believe in that? Because we believe in that on this show.
Okay, well, whatever. Hey, I know what kind of vibe they're going to give us. I mean, they're from the toilet seat or something, but it ain't. Look, it's like I told you before. People say, well, if you ever meet Dabo, you like him. No, I'm not. I'm not taking that chance because don't like the guy, and I'm not gonna. He might be the nicest guy I've ever met, but I'm not going for that.
So what's your gut tell you tonight, Mustin? You're a big Gamecock.
We're going to win. We're going to win this game. And mostly, and I've got more and more convincing as the week went. I've been in Columbia for a couple of days and listened to those guys. Of course, and being in Columbia, you're going to have positive vibes over there. But I think, look, we probably played every top 20 school in the country. UConn has played, 2, maybe 3 the whole season. And I think we're really, we are hitting the stride. We're hitting, okay, and y'all might have already talked about this. I believe that this has got to be Dawn's best shooting team she's ever had.
Okay.
In the past, even the ones that we won championships with, when we needed a 3, we'd be like, oh my God, who's going to shoot a 3? Who's going to shoot a 3? This team, we got 2, 3, 4. Even our centers can hit a 3. I mean, we can hit 3s when we need them, and we're hustling on. Dawn's team always plays defense.
Yeah.
They're always going to be defense strong. So, I really do. I might have to eat my words tonight, but because Gino's got a good team. I mean, I'm not going to say they're not a top, top 4 team. Every team in the top 4 right now could win it.
Sure.
I mean, UCLA is good. Texas is good. As a college women's fan, you can ask for a better Final Four. I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. And, we'll see what happens. I wish I was there instead of in Spartanburg, South Carolina, but I'm not. But I'm going to be somewhere with a bunch of Gamecocks watching it, and it's going to be fun. But I really do. And I agree with you, Tessa. I mean, if she starts hitting a three, that'll open up a lot of things on the inside. And I'll tell you, I love Tessa, man. I'm a leg man. Man, those legs are nice.
Mustin, you're the best. Appreciate you.
Thanks, pal.
All right, guys.
Oh man, you never fails to get a good laugh out of Mustin.
To Mustin's point, South Carolina has 6 players who shoot over 32% from three.
Yeah,
and he's right. Even Medina Oka. Now she doesn't take a lot of them,
sure,
but she's hitting 48%. You don't get her out there behind the 3-point line very often.
That is crazy though to hear
that.
48% for her.
Tania Latson 33%, Okot 48%, Tessa Johnson 45%. Raven Johnson, 42%. Let's see, Maddie McDaniel, 36%. Aaliyah McDowell, 36%. I mean, they can shoot
threes. They can.
They can shoot
listen,
from three.
They're going to have to tonight. They're going to have to tonight. And look, I'm not giving them no chance. I just, going back to what we talked about, UConn's a very good team. I think they're going to have to shoot well tonight. All the little things that we'll talk about for every basketball team and every basketball game going to have to be true tonight. Because every little thing will be magnified in a game that I feel like will be slowed down. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Just hour 20, Diesel, from that game. Before we run to a break, though,
I do like, Cole, though, that this South Carolina team's got a lot of experience on it.
A
lot of sophomores, juniors, and seniors on this team that I think Dawn's team can ride with that level of experience here and not let the moment feel too big.
Well, Joyce has been good all season, and she's got a season under her belt from last year. And you talk about experience, she's going to be I think Joyce is going to have to be that leader tonight, that leader for the Gamecocks, the steady Eddie, that kind of keeps everybody calm and just kind of keeps the train on the tracks, if you will, Diesel. So I'm excited, pulling for the Lady Gamecocks, and let's see if they can pull it out, because if you can beat UConn, you can beat anybody, right? And that's
true.
You mentioned it, that Texas rematch potentially.
Yeah, but then you get Texas.
Hopefully. Maybe. Hey, let's pull for the Bruins.
Let's pull for the Bruins. Right.
Bruins,
South Carolina
baby.
fans, if you're pulling for anybody tonight, you pull for your Gamecocks, pull for UCLA.
That's right. Before we run the break, a funny piece of audio from Tiger Woods was released late yesterday, Diesel.
Yep.
The audio from Tiger putting his cell phone back in his pocket, and this is what he said?
Yeah, this was from the officer's body cam.
Okay.
And Tiger had walked away from the scene of the crash and the investigation. Looked like he walked maybe 25, 30 yards up the road and then was coming back. Here's that audio.
Mr. Woods. Get you to hang out down here with us, please.
Thank you so much. All right. You got it. All right. Thank you. Say again?
Just keep you down here with us, please.
Yeah, I was just talking to the president. Trying to get away from
Don't mind me. I was just talking to the president.
Yeah. Just talking to the president.
I know that he's dating Trump's daughter-in-law or former daughter-in-law. But God,
you know what it feels like to me? It's like a son that knows his dad is in this like huge board meeting, and like they're selling the company. This is this huge meeting that's going on, Diesel, and the kid wrecks his bike. Like he wrecks his bike into the mailbox, but he calls his dad while his dad's got a million things going on, $1 million company. And, hey, Dad, I just wrecked into the mailbox.
Yeah.
Son, I've got 1 million things going on right now.
I'm only imagining what that phone call was like. And I think I know, Cole. This is actually, take that back. This is actually some exclusive audio from that actual phone call. Here's what it sounded like.
Oh, boy.
Oh, hey, hang on. We got muted.
Hello?
Tracy, it's Phil.
Bill, where the hell are you guys? I'm freaking out.
Yeah, listen. We f***ed up.
What are you talking about?
The bachelor party, the whole night. Things got out of control, and we lost Doug.
It does. Also reminds you of those scene in Wolf of Wall Street where he like totals the car on the way home, and he's trying to call his, was it wife or ex-wife at the time, right? And President Trump's got the whole situation with Iran and all this stuff. And Tiger, hey, I just rolled my car again for the third time. Thanks, Tiger.
Donald, I bleeped up. I rolled the Range Rover. Yeah. Can you call the sheriff, please?
Yeah.
Handle this.
What a time to be alive, I mean, sometimes it just feels like you can't make this stuff up.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Speaking of insane, Cole, the insane concession that the University of Arizona gave up in signing a new contract for Tommy Lloyd. This is crazy. The offer that UNC was giving him was so good that Arizona gave Tommy Lloyd this. We'll finish off the hour with that next. Normally, Cole, when you're really good at what you do and you want to stay where you are, you get a new contract for a lot more money. You get an extension, you get security, you get more money. I've never, ever seen a deal like what Tommy Lloyd just struck with the University of Arizona to stay at Arizona. So his new contract makes him one of the 5 highest paid coaches in college basketball. He will start next year at $7.2 million and will average $7.5 million per year over the life of his contract. That's great. I mean, top 5 highest paid coach. That's awesome. He also got a big salary bump for his assistants, which is, it's another great thing. Remember when we were talking, when Clemson was on its roll and Dabo Swinney was getting contract extensions and more money, he would always break off a big chunk of that for the assistants. It's always a great thing when they do that. But this is unbelievable, Cole. Part of Tommy Lloyd's deal is he no longer has to report to Arizona's athletic director. Doesn't have to take his calls, doesn't have to sit in, monthly meetings, no progress reports, nothing. He is independent of the AD at Arizona.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's definitely unprecedented, right? Like we've never heard of that. And
why would you even want that?
Well, it begs the question, and that's where I was going to go with it is we want more details, right? We want to know what it is, what it was that caused them to be this way. Is there beef? Did they have a falling out? I think it's fascinating. I'm not saying it won't work. Not saying the AD. Look, a lot of these ADs have never coached a sport in their life.
Sure.
Right? So I'm not saying it will not work or
I don't
can't
have
work.
to listen to you.
I don't
You're
have to
not my
listen to you.
dad.
And look, maybe it's the start of a trend that we see continue in college athletics. I think wouldn't that be fascinating 10 years from now if college coaches didn't report to the AD? I want to know who he's reporting to. Who is Tommy Lloyd reporting to now? The chancellor, the lunch lady, Tammy back there. I don't know who he's reporting to. It is weird though when you hear that. It makes you believe that there must have been a reason for that. There some kind of beef, some kind of falling out. Something had to have happened, right?
Maybe that level of autonomy is what got him to stay at Arizona because North Carolina was making a huge push to get him. North Carolina made him an offer. The exact number is not out there, but they made him an offer to be the 2nd highest paid coach in college basketball behind Bill Self, who's making $8.8 million a year at Kansas.
Just came, coming back from 1 more year.
So that's the kind of money that they offered him. Potentially $8.5 million a year. He's taking less money to stay at Arizona. He also responded to a line of questioning asking if North Carolina had put the full court press to get him by calling in the biggest of the big guns, Michael Jordan. And he says, Michael Jordan ain't even the GOAT to me. Here's what he said. Oh, hang on, let me unmute the site. Bam.
Let you know that North Carolina is an amazing place. I mean, it's a one of one. And, it's an honor to even be, considered for that job. And, the young kid, for me, the college basketball junkie, watching those games at home, never would have thought something like that could have happened to somebody like me. So North Carolina is a first-class organization, and I appreciate them for the way they've handled this. Michael Jordan, the phone call never did happen, so I'll put that to rest. But come on. We all idolized MJ, and I don't how many hours I watched that Come Fly With Me video, and my kid grew up watching his the movie he made, and it's amazing that that opportunity was even thought could be possible. With that being said, though, I made a decision that my Michael Jordan is Steve Kerr, and I'm proud to be an Arizona Wildcat.
Congrats, Coach.
How about that?
My Michael Jordan is Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of weak. Like that's, I don't think that resonated the way he thought it would. I don't know.
It's a good line.
Yeah.
Put it on a billboard somewhere. Put it on a poster. Fine. Yeah, fine.
And you know what? I think it just goes to show what we talked about for the past couple of weeks now. with NIL, with the portal, with this new landscape, North Carolina is not the end-all, be-all anymore. Arizona is just as attractive of a job as North Carolina is. And I know if there's a Tar Heel fan out there right now, they're cussing me. They're kicking their feet against the side of their car, right, listening to me say that. But Arizona is just as good as a job as your North Carolina Tar Heels job is. It's no longer one of the only 2-3 jobs that people desire. So, look, I know North Carolina fans, they're prideful, right? And they're not going to like that. But that's the reality that North Carolina has to swallow, that they're not the pretty top choice anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'm here to announce, Cole, that my Michael Jordan is John Stockton.
I thought you were going to say John Daly.
John Stockton. I love a guy that could pass, right? Love assists. Big fan of that. Now the full court press is going to be on Dusty May, and you better believe, because they wear that MJ logo on their jerseys. They're a Jumpman affiliated school. You better believe that Bubba Cunningham is like, hey, MJ, could you call Dusty?
No,
could
I
you
think
get
it's
us
a good possibility.
Dusty?
Good possibility.
You wouldn't call Tommy. Now we need you to call Dusty.
Good point. We'll see if it happens. Let's dive back into the Atlanta Braves on the other side. What a win they had last night. We'll get into it.